Welcome, race fans. This is Paul Page, the voice of IndyCar. And today we're excited to present another IndyCar event brought to you by the Dark Horse Indycar Series. From the Unzers to Mears, to Forsyth and Andretti, now it's Corley, Peterson, Davies, Garner, and Teague. You can expect high speeds, incredible wheel-to-wheel action, and intense drama that you can only get in an IndyCar. So sit back and enjoy your favorite drivers from all over the world take the track. Dark Horse IndyCar drivers, start your engines.
Hello everyone and welcome back to TMG. My name is Thomas Fisher alongside Jonathan Oates, and we're here to bring you the Dark Horse IndyCar Series from Michigan presented by Butt Kicker. Jonathan, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing pretty well, but a little bit confused because normally I'm the one who does that. But anyways, I'm having a very good day so far, and I'm very excited to see these Dark Horse IndyCar Series drivers take to this legacy Michigan track, a little bit more bumpy than the Rescan Michigan, which came out a little bit more recently. Some of the main talking points for tonight is definitely going to be the draft. It's going to be very, very important here at Michigan. These drivers are going to be able to use that hole punched in the air by the guys in front of them to just suck up right to their rear wing and try and make a slingshot pass. We're going to see a lot of that tonight, so it wouldn't surprise me if we see a little bit of an underdog winner up at the front. Thomas, what do you think we're going to need to watch out for tonight in this race?
Honestly, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be an absolute slipstream battle, given the fact this is one of the bigger tracks we're going to go to this series, apart from probably Indianapolis. But yeah, I'm just confused because I bought the new Michigan specifically for this race, and I just realized we're running at the Legacy, but it's okay.
Yeah, I got the thumbnail at the Legacy Michigan, or at the New Michigan, because I just thought we were doing the New Michigan. I already had the New Michigan. I'm saying the word New Michigan a lot, and it kind of sounds like someone took Michigan, made a new state, and just called it New Michigan. But anyways, taking a look at the times in practice, it is David Leclaire, one of the drivers much better at these longer 2-mile tracks than some of the shorter ones we go to, at the top of the board with a 31.514, leading by about half a tenth of a second over Covey Moore, making his Dark Horse IndyCar Series debut, who is in second with a 31.565. Corey Lane in third with a 31.704, so a little bit of spread out times at the top of the board, but everyone kind of aiming for that 31.6. I think it's going to be a good time in the race when you have all this slipstream. I'm not really sure what we're going to see in qualifying, because all these drivers are going to be out on their solo runs, but I think that should be a good indicator of kind of how the draft really shapes the runs and the lap times that these guys have.
Yeah, well, I'm expecting there to be about a half a second drop off, maybe a bit less without the draft, because you can see David Leclaire's lap was definitely draft assisted, because I'm not convinced that he's 0.2 a lap quicker than Corey Lane in third.
Yeah, at a track like Michigan where you're really just running flat out around the whole thing, it's very difficult to make up time on your own. I think a lot of that is going to come from saving your tires more than everyone else, and a lot of that is probably going to come from I believe these DW12s, if I'm not mistaken, have a steering pinion selection, which will basically just kind of alters how sensitive the wheel is, and I think a lot of the tire saving is going to come from changing that steering pinion pretty much to as low as it can go, trying to get the car to be as smooth as possible, because it's very difficult to save tires at a track where you don't really have to lift much. Thomas, in your experience racing these IndyCars at larger tracks like this, what do you think is the best way to kind of keep that rubber going towards the end of a run?
Honestly, at Michigan, because of the decently high amount of banking, it's just not really that important to save tires, because you can just kind of chill pretty much flat out for the whole run. So, I think honestly the most important thing for these drivers at this point is just going to be trying to save fuel, and in the process, whilst doing that, they'll save tires.
Another driver making their Dark Horse IndyCar Series debut is Kevin McCarthy in the gold number 44, currently sixth on the boards with a 31.720. His practice is just about to wrap up, and we're going to head on over to qualifying. That's going to do it for your pre-qualifying show. The actual qualifying is up next. I've said the word qualifying far too much. Penalties coming into this race are as follows. Dave Leclaire has been given a one-position penalty post-race after his illegal pass at Kentucky. And from a couple of races ago, Tyler Tomasi will not be allowed to qualify for this race here at Michigan. The field gridding up on the pit lane, getting ready to set their laps. Brandon Pasalacqua, the first one to go out while he is setting his out laps. We're going to go and take a look at the points coming into this race. It is Nick DeGroot at the top of the championship with a 57-point lead over Craig Forsyth. Charles Teed in third and Brandon Pasalacqua in fourth. We're watching Pasalacqua now on his laps. Thomas, what do you think the key is going to be to qualifying here at this Michigan Raceway, or International Speedway?
Oh, blimey. Okay, that makes me up then. I think honestly it's just going to be run the bottom, as much as you can. Try and run as close to the bottom as you can, because with the high bank and the high amount of downforce from these cars, taking that wide line is just not really going to help you like it would do in a stock car.
Yeah.
And as is tradition with Tyler Tomasi racing, with Tyler Tomasi, who is racing, and I believe he's racing here for the first time, so welcome, Tyler. We've seen him a bunch before, and as is tradition with him, we need to give someone a shout out. So I'd like to give a shout out to Sarah McMahon. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
I think it's McMahon, but okay.
No, it's McMahon.
As in McMahon?
Yes.
That's McMahon, but continue.
Okay. Apparently you're Tyler's girlfriend and it's your birthday, so happy birthday from all of us at TMG.
Me? Baron Pasalakwa to the top of the board with a 32.818. That'll do it for both of his laps. Now on the track, AJ Musselman going out for his outlap. David Leclaire out as well. I believe he is on his first lap as well. Leclaire going to be one of the drivers to watch out for. If you remember, before the season even started, as Alexander Van de Sant takes away that top time, David Leclaire won the Auto Club 140. So he is definitely going to be one driver to watch out for today. Pasalakwa, Forsyth, and Schneider, your top three at the moment. Eric Schaus going out for his lap as well. I believe this is going to be his second lap in that bright pink, blue, and green DW12. He'll be coming across the line this time by trying to take away that top spot from Pasalakwa. A 31.958 is going to put Schaus at the top of the board.
I realized I was muted that whole time, but I was saying Eric Schaus has gone to the top of the board with a 31.957. Gary Corley slots into second ahead of Gary Corley. Nope, never mind. Okay, Kevin McCarthy is now second, AJ Musselman third. Pretty much identical times for second and third. Only 0.02 of a second separating them. David Leclaire goes to the top of the board, 1,000th of a second faster than Eric Schaus.
Corey Lane on his lap now, currently seated 16th, but that was just because of his outlap. Now on his actual lap, he's going to duck below the apron a little bit into the gravel as he is going to come across the line. I'm guessing that's not going to be a great lap, only 14th for Corey Lane. Still a couple of drivers yet to qualify as Lane goes for a little bit of a jump in the infield. Craig Forsyth stopped on track after qualifying in 19th. He struggled just a little bit throughout practice. Josh Garner looking to set his laps now. Nick DeGroot on the track as well. All eyes on him, your championship leader, as he is continuing to best Forsyth in these races. DeGroot looking to extend his advantage at the top of the table. He is coming around to set his first lap and now on his fast lap.
Yes, ace, sir. Right, and Scott Sirodinsky has just said sup to everyone up in the commentator's booth. Sup, Scott. Nice to see you're still here, mate.
Yeah, I think he ran the, I want to say the first time we saw him on the channel was the Legends Racing League Street Stocks at USA. That sounds like the first time I've actually been with him in a race a couple of times. He's a pretty fast driver, so if he was in this series, he might be one to watch out for. Nick DeGroot going to come across the line this time by 21st fastest at the moment. We'll see if the championship leader can take away that top time. Yes, he can.
If
Nick
he
DeGroot
can.
to the top with a 31.943. 13 one-thousandths ahead of second place, David Leclaire. Jeff Hysong in his first start as well, lining up in the pit lane in that Valvoline DW12. He is looking to go out on track next.
AJ Hobson is coming around to set his second lap. Looking now, coming through 3 and 4 out of 4. Down onto the apron. Where is he going to go? He's going to go from 21st up to 14th. Decent qualifying.
Krista Nelson out on track as well, but not a very successful attempt. They're going to duck back into the pit lane. Jeff Hysong out on track as well.
Yeah, Jeff Hysong and Jim Brooks is coming across the line now, and he's going to start his first flying lap. Tyler Tomasi staying in the pits because he is not allowed to qualify as it is his first start.
We got there eventually.
I don't know why, man. I think it's a loose connection between my brain and my mouth these days.
Yeah, we got a loose wheel.
Oh, Haas 2019, anybody?
That was 2018, but you're close.
Oh, it's 2018.
I think it actually happened both years, which is kind of funny.
Leave it to Haas to do that, man.
Coming across the line now, Jeff Hysong. This is going to be his first lap. Bit of a wind-up for his second lap, just about a lane off the bottom. Nick DeGroot still at the top of the board. No one able to best him yet. Hysong to 22nd, but on his second lap, we'll see if he can improve. A little bit of a wider arc into the turns. We saw DeGroot do this on his lap, so this might be a good lap here for Jeff.
Jim Brooks is also is also coming through turns 3 and 4 now on his second lap, seeing what he's going to be able to do, going from 24th on the grid. He's getting right up to the line now, ducking down below the apron, and Jim Brooks is going to go from 24th to 19th place, and Jeff Hysong is going to... And I've lost him.
16th for Jeff Hysong.
19.
Max Davies out on track now. Well, in the pit lane, but loaded onto the track now.
It's okay, Max. It's that right foot. You gotta use that right finger.
All right, so Max.
Use your right foot.
Max. In theory, you have 3 pedals. The one that is on the very right, that's the one you're gonna want to press to make the car go vroom. I don't think he's listening to us.
Trying to make a car go vroom.
He's revving the engine.
I just embarrassed myself on the internet.
He's getting it warmed up.
Yep, Scott, thank you for telling us that Tyler is super fast. I know.
I think another thing that Tomasi is going to have a big advantage with here is the strategy. If the cautions start to fall in a little bit of a unique way, Tomasi might be one to watch out for.
He's moving.
He figured it out!
Max Davies figured it out.
He figured out how to make the car go vroom. But yeah, Tyler Tomasi, he's one of the drivers who is very, very good on strategy. He actually crew chiefed me in a NASCAR iRacing Series race a couple of months back at Richmond. He was a very, very good crew chief. It was actually me who ended up messing up that race, so...
Yeah, no, but the multiple times he's crew chiefed me, once I won, and then every single other time someone brake checked me, and I went for a little fly.
Yeah, that's not going to help your car go vroom.
You never know. Okay, Max Davies starting his first lap. He's just going to be building up some sped on this one.
Yeah, trying to get all the speed he can in that DW12. That number 51 looking to go on a flyer next time by, right up against that outside wall, getting a little close to it down the back. Trying to use that very high line. I think that lane choice is going to be something that we're going to see a lot tonight. These DW12s, they're some of the best cars on iRacing for multi-groove racing, so I think we're going to see that quite a bit tonight, especially as the runs go on. Davies diving down below the apron to start his flying lap right next to the gravel as he comes across the line. He is the last qualifier. We'll see what he can do.
Well, we know Max Davies always tends to go out lost, and he always tends to do really well, so we're going to see what he's going to do. Is, going up out of the corner, sitting in that second lane, moving up, but no, back down. Okay, he's just kind of chilling in the second lane, and now he's going all the way down to that white line. Not quite touching it, though. You got to be closer than that, Max. There you go. Going to keep it tight out of the corner, straight onto the apron, and Max Davies is going to go from 25th up to second place, beating out David Leclaire, and 0.02 of a second behind Nick DeGroot.
Wow. 0.02 of a second between first and second, but Max Davies not able to beat Nick DeGroot is only going to slot into second place. Nick DeGroot in the number 89, your current points leader, is going to start on pole for this race. There should not be any surprises there. He has been insanely fast in the past. We thought for a second that maybe this track type wasn't going to suit him as much. Well, as it turns out, yes. Yes, it will.
Yep, it most certainly will. Well, we know Nick DeGroot, he's been, he was always fast on the mid tracks. Well, middle to
intermediates.
Yeah,
you're close. You're close.
I don't do the NASCAR talk.
Yeah, over in NASCAR world, we call them 1.5 milers.
I ain't American.
It's because you're not cool enough. Anyways, you were saying.
Whoa! No, dude, you can't come at me saying Canada ain't cool.
You're right. Canada's very cool, especially in the winter.
It ain't for nothing we live in igloos year round.
Yes, that's definitely how most Americans see Canada, just igloos.
Oh no, I saw a video and it was just a compilation of Americans not knowing that Canada was a country.
It's a state, I'm pretty sure. All right, qualifying wrapped up. Nick DeGroot on pole. DeGroot's teammate, actually, in the number 15 of Covey Moore, starting in 11th. We didn't really talk about him, but he was able to end up practicing in, I believe, second place, so he'll be one to watch for. 120 laps, 240 miles ahead of us. That sounds like a long way, but when you consider that a lap here is only around 31 seconds, we should be in for a race that clocks in at just over an hour, and you'll be watching it all live here on TMG. The field gridding up now Tyler DeMasi going to be rounding out the field starting from the back. When we went here last season, it was Benjamin Combs in that number, I believe it's the number 77 Napa DW12. He was able to come away with a victory a couple of months ago. He is going to be going for it once again. The field the remaining portion of the field gridding up now. AJ Hobson, taking a look at him, your race 1 winner. He wanted a track very similar to Michigan all the way back in Auto Club. That was a few races ago. Thomas, before these pace laps get underway, any last words?
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Yeah, no, my brain just phased out for a second. We're back. Okay.
All right.
Lost words. Okay, we're getting into product placement mode. Remember, under this YouTube video, there should be a hashtag ad.
Yes, yes, there is.
There is hashtag ad. So, the Dark Horse Indycar Series would not be possible without the support of the buttkicker.com. They make these, essentially, speakers which you put underneath your seat and make vibrations to make it feel like you are actually driving a car. Go to thebuttkicker.com and use code DarkHorse20 for 20% off your order at thebuttkicker.com.
It's like force feedback, but for your chair. That'd be a good slogan. They should put me in charge of marketing.
Why would they put you in charge of marketing?
I don't know. Nick DeGroot starting in the pole position. We're looking at the field right now, being led by that Ford Mustang pace car. It hasn't been changed in quite a while.
I think that Ford Mustang pace car, it must be like 15 years old at this point.
Oh yeah, it's got to be. That not only is that a very old pace car, but it's also a very old Mustang. I believe that's from around 2011, 2012. It makes sense because that would be around when iRacing was released. Oh, look at this. All the Indy cars just driving through the camera. Hey, that was expensive.
Hold on, wait. When was actually iRacing?
2008, I believe. I think it started development around 2006.
Yeah. The release date was this 26th of August, 2008.
So iRacing has been around for 12 years. That's quite
Hey, Jonathan, iRacing's as old as you, man.
That's funny. But I'm not.
I don't getting real videos
funny.
at this point. Oh yeah, also, I feel like I need to mention this. If you missed last week's broadcast, Jonathan and I figured out that we were born on the same day.
Yes, November 28th. No pressure for you all to buy me any gifts, but it's 10 days. I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Don't worry. Put it away. That's your way of showing your support of basically which commentator you like the most. So if you prefer Jonathan, send him a gift. If you
hate both of us and just mute us during the race, then you can just, not send anything. That's an option.
I think that's going to be everyone.
Yes, it will be. Nick DeGroot, 89, starting on pole, looking to extend his championship advantage over Greg Forsyth. I remember the name. We're going to turn out the ticker for just a bit as the field gets ready to get going here in the Irish Hills of Michigan. That pace car going to take that hard left turn into the pit lane. At that point, the field will be in the hands of that number 89, factory-backed Motorsports DW12. Coming off a second-place finish in Monday Night iRacing a few days ago, DeGroot looking to get back-to-back wins in the Dark Horse IndyCar Series. We're underway here at Michigan.
Good start from Nick DeGroot. Everyone kind of behind him going single file. Everyone up to pretty much Kevin McCarthy and Eric Peterson. That looks like Eric Schaus looking to be very interested at moving up, but this top 4 pack has kind of started to break away from the rest of the field. That's behind them. They are too wide, and now it becomes a battle for the slipstream.
Yeah, very, very exciting racing going on at the moment. David Leclaire working the outside of Max Davies as Davies slotting into second. We know how strong he was when the Dark Horse IndyCar Series went to Michigan a season ago. Granted, a lot has changed since then. Working lap 2 now. Nick DeGroot leads the first one. Now Davies hopping to the outside as most of the field double file all the way back to about Eric Peterson in 5th.
Yep. These DW12s are pulling 220 miles an hour in the turns. That is how fast these drivers are going. So if there's an accident ahead of them, they'll most likely not be able to
wide, going at a 3. Gary Corley in the mix of that. One driver on the outside, I believe that is Gary Corley. Falling back just a little bit, Eric Peterson into 6th. Kevin McCarthy working his way up in a 5th as the rest of the field scrambles down the front straightaway. Everyone now ducking into the slipstream at the bottom of the racetrack, leaving AJ Musselman out to dry on the high side.
Yep. Big gap, though, right now between pretty much AJ Hobson and Nicholas Wunuk. I'd say about maybe about half a second. This front pack really is pulling away.
3 wide again. Here comes Kevin McCarthy. Down the inside, headed for turn 3, sliding up the track a little bit of contact between the right rear wheel and the front left wing of Eric Schaus. Things got very close indeed there, but Kevin McCarthy has worked his way up into second, not really having much regard for his tires, trying to make up as many spots as he can early on. We are working lap 4 of 120.
Yep, so right now there are 3 very distinct packs forming themselves. The one at the front obviously is the biggest because everyone's trying to scramble for positions early on in this race. We are only on lap 4, though, of 120. So there is a very, very long way to go in this race. About 100 and... Ooh, I can do maths.
Yes, you can.
There's a total of 180 There's a total of 180 miles in this race, right? We've done 4 times 1.5... 6.
Oh my.
It's about 100. It's about 174 miles to go in this race.
Hey, I'm gonna. They're double. For a second, I thought there were 3 wide for the lead. They went back to 2 wide. David Leclaire.
Now they're 3 wide. Now they're 3 wide.
Nah, back down to 2 wide. But David Leclaire on the outside of Nick DeGroot, trying to make that high line work. I'm gonna try something out really quick. I'm just gonna turn that off, move it over here, and let's see if that looks any better. Alright, now the ticker is on the right side of the screen. We'll play around with that for a little bit, see if you guys like it. Battle for the lead continuing. Kevin McCarthy into 3rd. Gary Corley back up into 4th. David Leclaire working on the outside of Nick DeGroot. 3 wide for the lead, going down the back straightaway. This race looking a lot more like a Talladega race than one at Michigan.
Well, these cars pretty much will be racing like they are in Talladega, but remember, these cars cannot get too close to each other because of how aero-dependent they are.
Absolutely, yeah. If you get too close to the guy in front of you, they're going to get a lot of air taken off their rear wing, and that might just unsettle the car enough to spin them around. We've also seen netcode be an issue here on iRacing in the past. I believe we saw it last season. Between Benjamin Combs and AJ Musselman. Combs had a big run up to the back bumper of AJ Musselman. They did not make any contact in terms of visual contact, but the sim registered it as fender-to-fender contact and spun the 54 around. That was a season ago. Side by side for the lead again, David Leclaire on the outside of Nick DeGroot still as we come to lap 8 of 120.
Yep, 3 wide behind between Eric Schaus and who else is that? Eric Schaus, Eric Peterson, and Joe McAdree. Very tight then for a bit, but they're back down to 2 wide.
All right, I'm not liking the new position.
Todd Schneider and Jeffrey Duncan both in the pits.
Oh, that might have been for a 2-car incident early on. I'm guessing that's what that was for the lead.
Oh, wow, blimey, holy moly. Okay, I don't know if you want to have a look at this.
No, there's kind of a really good battle for the lead going on right now, but you can talk.
Yeah, well, this is a big flipping, incredible crash, cars up in the fence type thing.
But they're 3 wide for the lead going into turn 1. Nick DeGroot on the inside of David Leclaire. McCarthy working that high side, trying to make any advantage he can work up there. Leclaire hopping back to the outside. Everyone under a blanket up at the front. Meanwhile, take a look at Covey Moore. DeGroot's teammate making big moves from the top to the bottom, trying to get underneath Eric Schaus. Not liking the position of that new ticker, so I'm going to move it back.
Fair enough. It does kind of obstruct the view a bit, but fair enough.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to test something else out. Thomas, tell me about what's going on in the race while I do something.
Oh, I'm looking at the incident between Jeffrey Duncan and Todd Schneider.
Okay.
Fine. I'm going back.
Okay, made the ticker transparent. We'll see if that works. And that's too transparent. This has worked for a while, but it's being very annoying today for some reason. All right, that's good. 85% opacity. I see Nick DeGroot's teammate, Covey Moore, on the outside. They're 3 wide. Nick DeGroot leading away over David Leclaire, who is still trying to make that move to the outside work. Bit of a 4-car breakaway at the front now as the field swarms down the front straightaway.
Yep.
Like a pack of angry bees.
Jeffrey Duncan is apologizing to Todd Schneider for what happened. So what happened between them was that Jeffrey Duncan got an absolute run of the century on Todd Schneider and just straight up rear-righted him down the straight. And they both ended up straight at the scene of the accident and flipping through the air, simple iRacing style.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there was a little bit of netcode involved in there as well. Meanwhile, for 3rd, Eric Schaus crossing underneath Gary Corley. That battle continuing between those two, but the battle for the lead is strong as ever, coming to lap 10 of 120. I have been told by the series admins that these tires can be comfortable for around 10 laps, but after, oh no, Eric Schaus got really sideways off turn 2. Everyone scrambled to avoid him. We are back 3 wide for the lead going to turn 3.
Yep, we most certainly are. Up down Tyler Tomasi. He's just struggling in his first start. He's right in that back pack. There's 4 of them, but they're not working together. They're fighting the whole time, so they're keeping on, losing pace to Jim Brooks.
I'm realizing now that at the start of the stream when I said Tyler DeMasi was a good crew chief, I may have mixed him up with Hayden Lowell. Yeah, that wasn't Tyler Tomasi who crew chiefed me. That was Hayden Lowell. Battle for the lead continuing. Nick DeGroot on the inside of David Leclaire. We're going to move past that, by the way. Joe McAdory trying to work his way underneath Gary Corley for third as DeGroot's teammate Covey Moore. Oh, we got a spin. Eric Schaus.
Eric Schaus is spinning. Who's that alongside him? Eric Schaus and Kevin McCarthy.
McCarthy in his first start around. Oh, one more round. 2 more round. Third car round as well. Oh, Kristen Nelson, Alexander Van de Sant involved. That was a big crash on the front straightaway. Multiple drivers involved. First caution of the night coming out on lap 14 of 120. That was pretty violent. If you just looked at the car that was flipping, caution is out for the first time. We're going to get a replay of what happened. We'll try and get the drone cam here. This should give us a pretty good view of the incident. McCarthy on the inside, sliding up just a bit. Oh.
Pretty much all the way up, just left reared Eric Schaus. But then, you know what kind of puzzles me is that happens, and then it doesn't seem like he was holding his brakes. Because he just went straight up into the racing line and took out, who is this? I'm trying to figure out who this is.
Oh, yep, that was, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
AJ Hobson, AJ Hobson, Josh Garner, and Max Davies also involved.
They just kept flipping. I don't know why I found that so funny, but they just kept flipping over and over again. Like, you look away for 2 seconds and there's like 4 more cars. Okay, sorry. But yeah, there were a lot of drivers involved in that.
You know, I think I might need to, use the blimp cam here and just figure out how many cars were actually involved in that incident. Yeah, well, because I can tell you, it was more than 3 and less than probably 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, just looking at it there, if you don't mind, McCarthy got slung into the air by the front wing of Eric Schaus, which in turn bounced the 72 into the air. We'll speed it up just a little bit. Watch for McCarthy, who's going to slide right back onto the racetrack. Everyone going by him, and you're going to see that red car get slung up into the air. Then he's going to sling Peterson. I believe that's Peterson. No,
I don't think Peterson was involved in that.
No, that was... Hold on. There's just so many cars that just went flipping. Yeah, no, that was Peterson, and then another driver went around. That was Alexander Van de Sant. I believe he hit the wall. There were like 4 cars flipping at once. Who is that in the back? Josh Garner. Josh Garner gets sent around as well, bounces across the track, slams into McCarthy again mid-air. I think we're going to need a new please stand by cutaway, because this is even funnier than what happened at that race that I got all that footage from. Oh, that's AJ Hobson, I believe, in the 63.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
so
my God.
I can run you through it pretty quickly about what happened. If I'm just going to get the slow motion cam for me. So Kevin McCarthy went up into Eric Schaus.
Well, no, I actually think Schaus came down into McCarthy, but either way, that did happen.
I had a look at it. Eric Schaus held his line. Then Kevin McCarthy didn't hold his brakes. Went up into AJ Hobson, got collected and then collected also. Who is the car who's done the big one?
Oh, and Van de Sant got walled on his own and took out Peterson as well. I'm just realizing that now, but that was just like 7 different flips at once. Okay. What?
Yeah, and then so Josh Garner went up in the air, and then Davies hit McCarthy.
You're gonna find this.
Jim Brooks,
pretty funny here.
Jim Brooks just absolutely scathed through with. Who is that now? Okay, then God. Josh Garner still flipping with and now where has. I'm kind of wondering where Alexander Van de Sant comes into all this.
Yeah, Van de Sant.
Alexander Van de Sant.
No, I know what happened to him because he went high to try and avoid the wreck with, I believe, Eric Peterson. He ended up walling himself and Peterson, and they both went flipping down the front straightaway. No,
Peterson moved up into Van de Sant's front wing, and then they both said hello to the flipping fairy.
Yeah, it was messy for sure. And what I'm really tempted to do is after the race get a camera kind of like positioned in the infield on the front straightaway and just get that to record everything. We're coming back to the restart this time with your race leader and championship leader Nick DeGroot leading the field back to green. Pace car going to make that left turn into the pit lane, and we are back underway here at Michigan. DeGroot takes off from the lead. We're back racing.
Yep, not as good as a start for Nick DeGroot as it was last time, bringing the top 3 with him. So Covey Moore and David Leclaire. I almost said Charles Leclaire. I've learned my lesson. Gary Corley struggling a little bit with Nicholas Wunnock. Is that Gary Corley? No, that's Charles Teed, sorry, and Gary Corley as well as Nicholas Wunnock.
Well, the 3 cars in the lead pack have gone 3 wide for the lead. Just figured I'd take a look at that. Covey Moore, Nick DeGroot's teammate, has filed his way into second. It's now a factory-backed 2 and 3 with David Leclaire assuming the lead here at Michigan.
Yep, Joe McIntyre, I believe that is, who's just kind of chilling by himself. No one really to help him. It is... You know, it's actually a lot more spread out this time. But now, Tyler Tomasi has absolutely thanked his lucky stars because now he's up in 14th and leading a pack involving Eric Schaus, who we know can make his way up the field.
I feel like what we're seeing right now is just Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas, and then you just get Max Verstappen in there as well. You got the 2 teammates. Ironically, they're both driving black cars, and then you just get the 1 Red Bull guy who's randomly up there. The Mercedes, or sorry, factory-backed cars, are essentially swarming David Leclaire. He really doesn't have much to do because these teammates are going to work together pretty well. You can see them kind of helping out each other with the draft. Everyone kind of spreading out at the front at the moment, despite them all having pitted on lap 14. So the field's starting to get a little bit more spread out.
Wait, so who's Hamilton and who's Bottas in this scenario?
I'm going to have to assume that DeGroot is Hamilton just because of how utterly dominant he's been this season. Side by side for the lead, Covey Moore in that 15 on the outside of David Leclaire. Coming to the line, it'll be Covey Moore's first laps led of his Dark Horse Indycar Series career with his teammate coming to help. This 3-car battle for the lead raging on.
Yep, I have to disagree though. I don't think Covey Moore is Valtteri Bottas.
Really? Why would you say that?
Because he's just, you know, he's fighting for the lead here and he hasn't been to yet.
That's true. That's definitely true. Side by side again. I don't know what Nick DeGroot is doing, but he's kind of working that 4th lane almost at the top of the track. It might be helping him save tires. So we'll see if that comes into play later in the race. He does indeed get
a run.
Yeah, he's gotten
a
really
and
big
3
run
wide for
here.
the lead.
Yeah, he's that 3rd car on the high side. That blimp cam hopefully gave you a really good view of the separation that these drivers are undergoing. DeGroot running that very, very high line, trying to get a run on Covey Moore all the way to the high side, trying to get around his teammate who has now gone to the outside of David Leclaire. They're going to be side by side for the lead with a 3rd car, Nick DeGroot, waiting in the back. Still side by side, Leclaire on the inside of Moore. Now DeGroot trying to get a run down the front straightaway.
Yes, sir. And behind them, though, a very interesting battle is raging on for what is 4th place. We got about a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 car battle here for 4th.
Oh
so
my
all the way
God.
back to about 14.
And notably in that battle is Craig Forsyth, and we know that Forsyth is essentially at this point of the season Nick DeGroot's biggest rival for the championship. He was able to make a charge at him at Kentucky. He's going to have to try and make another charge at him here at Michigan. Those 2 have been the dominant drivers all season. However, only one of them has won a race.
Oh, smoke.
Yeah, nearly a little bit of contact there. I believe that might have been Joe McIntyre and Gary Corley. But back in the battle for the lead, it's still Covey Moore and David Leclaire. They've been side by side for a few laps now, and that is just going to be eating away at those Firestone tires.
Yep.
Or are we allowed to say Firestone? Maybe it's just unbranded tires.
I mean, we're not wrong. It's just free publicity at the end of the day.
That's true.
And I don't want to be the boy who cried wolf here, but Charles Teed is cat and spinning. Craig Forsyth in the wall.
Uh-oh. That seems like a problem. Craig Forsyth winning the championship. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Gary Corley and Craig Forsyth. Let's have a look what just happened here.
And crucially, guys, Forsyth had to tow there, and that is going to be a huge hit to his race hopes. He's going to have to spend all that time towing back into the pit lane. So one of your championship contenders taken out in the crash here. I believe he does have a fast repair to use, but that is going to hurt him big time.
Yep, Craig Forsyth just moved straight up into the path of Gary Corley and straight to the scene of the accident in the outside wall. It was.
I don't know
that. Jonathan, why do commentators curse people, man? You said good things about Craig Forsyth, and now he's in the wall.
Honestly, Thomas, that really looked to me like Forsyth was just kind of, and then he tagged someone else at the end there. But that really looked to me like Forsyth was holding his line, and Corley just kind of came down the track too much.
I cannot disagree more.
Well, you know what? We'll take another look at this. It's time for...
Look at this. It's time for Thomas and Jonathan debate an incident.
Yes, welcome to the TMG debates. Because you're going to see right there, Corley moves down a line and Forsyth moves up a line. But if you think about the way that you actually have to take...
a line, mate. He moved up 2.5.
Well, no, because what I'm thinking is that at a track like Michigan, you really have to wash up the track to preserve your momentum. And... what Corley did, he was just kind of staying in his direct, all right, we're going to do it like this. What you're going to notice is that this track has a couple of seams which divide the racing surface into 4 or 5 distinct grooves. And you're going to see right here, Forsyth is in that second groove now. Because of the way the racing line is, he's going to have to drift up the track a little bit. He
doesn't though, look. Whoever that is dropping down below, you can see Craig Forsyth then moves up 1.5 lanes extra straight away, whilst Gary Corley is holding his own lane. So that, for me, is on Craig Forsyth.
You might be right about that. Either way, it is kind of funny that Corley just got launched into the air. You're going to see Forsyth spinning down the banking, tags one other driver who goes into the grass and up into the wall. Not much you can do about that. And that is what brought out your second caution. We are going to cut to commercial break for just a moment, and I'm going to go get a sip of water. We'll be right back.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And we're back live here at Michigan under caution for the second time today, working lap 26 of 120, nearing that 1/4 point in the race. Kevin McCarthy, due to pit strategy, has escaped as your race leader. However, he has stayed out. Everyone behind him did come into the pit lane. One lapped car. They're mixing it up with the leaders. I believe that is AJ Hobson. Yes, AJ Hobson in second. First driver on fresh tires is going to be David Leclaire. Not really sure why Kevin McCarthy decided not to pit, but maybe a little bit of a strategy going on there. It's not really going to benefit him because I don't believe this series has tire limits, but we'll see. David Leclaire going to be restarting in second, as the field is going to line up, I believe, next time by... as I don't believe the lights are on in the pace car, but I guess we'll see in 3 and 4, because typically these drivers like to drift up to the wall as they're coming to the restart. I don't know where Thomas is. I think he's still here. Thomas, are you there? Thomas, are you there? Thomas, are you there? Yeah, I don't think he is. Well, going back green this time by. Car out on old tires. It'll be Kevin McCarthy as your race leader. Been on this stint for about 11 laps. We'll see if that benefits him at all, but I don't think it will. David Leclaire restarting in second. Covey Moore restarting in third. We're going to come back to the green this time by. Pace car is off on board with second place David Leclaire. We're back green here at Michigan. And a big jump by Kevin McCarthy out front in front of the field. We saw this in the Auto Club 140 with, I believe it was AJ Hobson, who stayed out late. He got a big jump, almost won that race. We're going to see Kevin McCarthy trying something similar here, but I have a feeling that it's not going to last very long because David Leclaire is storming up on the back of that 44 come lap 27 of 120. We'll see what happens here through turns 3 and 4. Leclaire running that second seam. Thomas, I do want you to know that if you're saying anything, I can't hear a word you're saying. Leclaire to the outside line. McCarthy trying to push him up the track. They're 3 wide with the lapped car. But I believe Leclaire is going to get the lead through 1 and 2 this time by.
Yeah, he will. He's sat on the outside, but Kevin McCarthy's going to have the run. He's also going to have the draft from that lapped car, which David Leclaire will not.
Now he's going to have it, though.
Oh, but lap car's moving across. Come on, Kevin.
And a lot of moving around in the back. Krista Nelson worked her way up into 6th place. Very good run by her early on. We saw a very impressive run out of that 13 car at Gateway as well. We're seeing another very strong showing today. Charles Teed battling it out with Nelson for that 5th place spot. Now to the outside goes Chris Massey. One of his first starts as well, working all the way up to the outside wall. Meanwhile, David Leclaire still trying to get around Kevin McCarthy. McCarthy cuts him off going to turn 1. It's stacking up this 4-car pack. We'll see if Covey Moore can make better work of these leaders. Nick DeGroot hopping to the outside. Thomas, back to you. Or not. DeGroot trying to make that run work on the outside line is not going to have much of a run coming off turn number 4. Those two teammates.
Oh, Tyler Tomassi. Holy moly, that was close.
What?
Sorry, I had food in my mouth when you gave me the thing, and I couldn't swallow it fast enough. Tyler Tomassi getting very loose through the tri-oval. Yeah, as he's looking to get past this 3-wide battle between Nicholas Winnick, Jim Brooks, and Corey Lane. He's gotten past Nicholas Winnick, and he's now looking to get past the wall that is Jim Brooks and Corey Lane.
Yeah, this is getting very, very close indeed. That 43 of Tyler Tomassi relegated back in traffic. Meanwhile, back to the battle for the race lead. It's Covey Moore, the rookie, taking the race lead here in Michigan alongside David Leclaire, fighting it out for that race lead. Meanwhile, factory back teammate Nick DeGroot working his way into 3rd, trying to take the lead from both of them, but right now working with his teammate on that high line. A little bit of a train going up there, and it's going to be a factory back to 1-2 headed to turn 3.
Yeah, it is. That lap car, though, needs to start getting out of the way. There he goes. He's down to the inside.
Yeah,
who is that lap car? That is AJ Hobson.
Yeah, lap cars tend to play a pretty big role in these super speedway races. If you were watching the Pro Series just last night, whether that be on Podium Esports or Bottom Split, we saw lap cars play a very, very crucial role in that race, when we might see something similar today. Covey Moore is currently in the race lead. That lap car, AJ Hobson, holding strong on the inside. Meanwhile, they are nose to tail for the lead between two factory back teammates as David Leclaire working on the inside towards turn 3.
Yep, and you can see AJ Hobson, though, still not getting out of the way. You know, he should be going to the back of that pack and not interfering with the racing. He shouldn't be sitting in front like that. Yeah,
you definitely, as the leader, you definitely want that to happen, but from AJ Hobson's perspective, he wants to stay around the leaders to try and get that free pass when the caution comes out. Meanwhile, back to the second pack, it is Krista Nelson leading that pack away. Charles Teed hopping to the outside with Chris Massey as well. 3 red cars swarming that black and purple 13. Joe McAdory in the battle as well in that candy cane colored number 4 car. Back to the battle for the lead. It is 2 factory back teammates and a Red Bull car. Single file up against the wall with Kevin McCarthy hanging in 4th.
Yep, AJ Hobson.
Oh, Hobson!
He needs to get out of the way.
Yeah, he definitely slid up the track there. He might just be forced out of the way now. It's a factory-backed 1-2 down the back straightaway. Leclaire holding strong in 3rd. Back to the battle for 5th. Charles Teed working his way to the outside on Krista Nelson.
Yep, he is. And now we got to find Charles Teed. Jonathan, why do you have to switch it up like that? Yeah, really interesting battle between Charles Teed and Krista Nelson. It's looking as if Teed's trying to go to the outside of Nelson.
Yeah, definitely getting very close here. A lot of red cars, red and white cars back in the pack here. Joe McAdory, Charles
3 wide for the lead.
Uh-oh. Covey Moore.
Oh, back 2 wide. Back 2 wide.
Covey Moore still on that outside line. DeGroot trying to take the lead from his teammate on the inside line. I have to imagine they're not going to race too hard here. Still pretty early on. Lap 35 of 120. We're just around that 1/4 of the way through the race point. David Leclaire trying to make that high side work 3 wide. This track, not exactly as wide as you might think it is. But these drivers are making the most of it. 3 wide for the race lead for a moment. Back to 2, back down to 1 wide. Or I guess that would just be single file.
Yeah, I think what
Leclaire. Sorry, Leclaire nearly just walled it off turn 2, but he was able to keep it going. Kevin McCarthy just kind of waiting in the wings in 4th. His teammate still battling it out for the lead side by side.
Yep, I think what the 2 factory back drivers are trying to do is they're trying to make the big wall of carbon fiber.
Yeah, that might be it.
They're going to work together. The top lane isn't really feasible, so they're going to try, and both drivers stick to the 2 bottom lanes, pretty much just make it so if you want to get around them, you're going to have to work for it or move one of them.
Yeah, but take a look at this. Joe McAdory has worked his way up against this lead pack right now in the 5th position. This lead pack is, or sorry, no, that's actually AJ Hobson. Never mind. 3 wide for the lead once again, headed for turn 3. David Leclaire trying to make that high line work, but it might just be a little bit too early on. We saw at Kentucky how as the tires wore, that high side became a lot more viable. Well, we might be seeing that again. Right now, these drivers 13 laps on their tires, unless your name is Kevin McCarthy, because he has now been on these tires for 23 laps. Nick DeGroot has inherited the lead from his teammate Covey Moore, trying to break the draft down the back straightaway 3 wide once again. David Leclaire making that high line work once again. Now he's got a push from McCarthy headed for turn 3.
Yeah, he does. David Leclaire, absolutely nothing you can do though. Still, this wool of carbon fiber really is working for these two factory-back drivers, but they've gone single file.
Yeah, that
could be a mistake.
Yeah, it definitely might be, but I am thinking that as these tires...
there you go. Back up from top.
Well, never mind. But I am thinking that as these tires start to wear a little bit more, I do think that we're going to see a little bit more of that high line coming into play. You're going to see David Leclaire here maybe looking to the inside. There's definitely... I am talking for far too long. There's definitely enough space between the 15 and the 89 to maybe make a 3 wide pass work. But I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do it just yet. Coming lap 40 of 120, we are now a third of the way through this race.
Yeah, we are... So that was, Corey Moore has led the first third of the race.
You led to the 1/3 mark. Distinction there.
Exactly. I don't know. Well, he's led the first third of the race, meaning that he has been the leader.
Oh, guess what? The factory back boys have been split up. David Leclaire is into second, splitting the 15 and the 89. It's Covey Moore in the lead on his own now. Can David Leclaire make a charge at it? They might go 3 wide here. They might just... Leclaire looking to the middle, not going to make a move.
One driver who's been absolutely moving is Tyler Tomasi. He's now, and someone's slow on the apron.
Oh, who's that?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, that's Kevin McCarthy, I think. He might be coming into the pit lane because he is out of the top 3.
Yeah, he's out of the pits. He came into the pits. Okay. My brain just stopped working.
Yeah, it doesn't...
so Tyler Tomasi has made up 16 places, make that 15 as he just gets overtaken now. But he's absolutely making it scenes as he's now properly up to the back of Eric Schaus and side by side with Charles Teed for this 9th position.
I feel like the top 2 packs have kind of come together now as just kind of one big pack. What this race reminds me of a lot is kind of the mid-2000s plate racing that we saw over in the NASCAR world, where these drivers would just kind of get split up into these distinct packs, and then they would eventually all kind of come together. As you got these kind of different packs to start to stall out. Battle for 4th still going on. It's currently owned by Joe McAdory, who has really closed the gap to this top 3.
Someone's slow on the inside.
Can't tell who that is from this camera angle. Nick DeGroot, meanwhile, your points leader, going back to the inside, and he is back to the race lead. AJ Hobson still in that...
AJ Hobson boxed.
Actually, no, that's not AJ Hobson. Hobson's dropped out of the pack, and Joe McAdory has brought that second pack up to the front. He is currently working the inside of Nick DeGroot, but gets a little bit loose off, too. Caution is out.
I think we have Alexander Van de Sant. Nope, someone's in the outside
pole.
Oh,
it's Van de Sant spinning.
That is Charles Teed and Tyler Tomasi.
Oh, no!
I say good things about him.
Tomasi and Teed around in 1 and 2. Van de Sant involved as well. So was one other driver. I believe that was AJ Musselman, who had to take to the grass. Caution is out.
Okay, and Tyler Tomasi is saying in chat that maybe Charles Teed got one coming.
Ooh. Well, Charles Teed's car is definitely not in the best position. We'll take a look at the rear chase cam. That's not a good angle at all. You'll be able to see it once he pulls off the wall just a little bit. That left front, you might think it's just locked up, but no, it is literally not making any contact with the ground. Looking a little bit more like a tricycle than a DW12 IndyCar. We'll go and take a look at a replay of what happened.
You know what? I think this is a mix of, him not moving. Sorry, Charles Teed not going as far down as Tyler Tomasi expected. As the Tyler Tomasi kind of has to move down if he's going to go up into the outside wall.
Oh, that was a very hard crash for Charles Teed. Just kind of got wound up against that outside wall, got into the catch fence a little bit. It's very hard for me to put that one on Charles Teed. You see Alexander Van de Sant trying to avoid the crash, got into the 43, and then ends up going spinning down the track. Musselman taking a little hop into the grass. That was kind of funny to watch. We'll take another look at it here. I don't know.
Should we bring up Charles Teed and get his view on it?
I think we should, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's on Tomasi. At least for me, that's definitely on Tyler Tomasi.
Fast repair.
Hey, Charles, it's Tom Stuff, the TMC broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah, I do. What's going on? What happened there?
It looked as if, you just didn't quite go as far down as Tyler Tomasi expected, and you just made kind of half netcode, half contact. And then, you both came off pretty bad. But Tyler Tomasi then said it in chat that you, quote, got one coming, bud.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's a new guy. I don't know what that's about. I have no idea. There's a new guy in the league, so we'll find out after the race.
Hey, if you want,
Yeah,
if you want my opinion, I think that Tomasi just kind of came down. Either way, it kind of sucks for Charles Teed because he got absolutely slung into the outside wall. You're actually here, so maybe I shouldn't be saying that about you so bluntly. But anyways, just kind of walk us through the wreck there. Did you kind of get any indication that you were maybe going to end up in a crash there, or was it just kind of sudden?
I had no idea. I'm busted, and the fast repair didn't work, and so I think my race is probably over.
Any penalties maybe expected out of that coming post-race?
Who knows? We'll have to look. But yeah, it's. I'm trying to go right now. I'm just busted. I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely.
I gotta get out of this. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, definitely not a great day. Anyways, thank you for joining us for just a little bit, and we're sorry to take up your time. So that was Charles Teed.
Very interesting.
I gotta say, that definitely, I can't really put that one on Teed at all. We'll take one more look at it here. You're gonna see Tomasi.
I think that is quite a little bit more of the, the racing type of incident because, Charles Teed, he had the dirty air, he probably should have been a bit further down than he was, but at the same time, Tyler Tomasi, he maybe could have held his line a bit better, but, it's just kind of that, I say it's 50-50.
I really think it's mostly on Tomasi, but we're going to see. I don't know what it is about these DW12 crashes, but they never fail to be the most entertaining things. Some of the most entertaining things of the race. Obviously, I actually like the racing a little bit better, but take a look at this. Charles Teed going into the turn is just going to get tagged around by the 43. He's going to get spun in front of, I believe that's Jim Brooks, and he's just going to get flung into the air and into the outside wall. And then one more thing that I just want to take a look at because I think it's funny. If we look at AJ Musselman, specifically this rear chase cam, if he's going to hop into the grass and just boing.
He pulled the big boing.
This should be a good freeze frame.
There we go. He has pulled the big boing.
And welcome to the Dark Horse Indycar Series. All right, enough funny.
Yeah.
Back live, we're actually going to go back green.
Out.
Yeah, we're going to go back green. So I probably shouldn't have spent so much time laughing at the boing. Covey Moore can lead the field back to green. You go ahead and take it away, Thomas. I've been talking too much.
Okay. Yes, you are. Covey Moore is going to lead the pack to green as the pace car is going to get bored of running on the racetrack and decide to go down pit lane on this occasion. And we are green in Michigan, and Covey Moore has buckered right off like a stabbed rabbit at the front of this pack, and Nick DeGroot is sticking pretty well with him.
Yeah, pretty good restart there by second place Nick DeGroot. Wouldn't surprise me if that was timed. As they are teammates, they're definitely communicating in the race a lot more than some of these other drivers. Down the back straight away following the restart. Nick DeGroot down to the inside, trying to take the lead away. He is going to take it. Going into turn number 3, new leader, Nick DeGroot. Everyone now on fresh tires, so that caution really couldn't have come at a better time. It was right towards the end of the stint. Meanwhile, up in a second, it's going to be David Leclaire. Covey Moore losing 2 spots on that occasion. Chris Massey out of the fight as well. 5-car breakaway at the front of the field.
Yep, and you see Covey Moore kind of getting relegated down to that 3rd place. Nothing he can really do about it. Just stuck on that outside lane. Chris Massey, going to see there's anything he's going to be able to do about it. Nope, he's just going to kind of chill on the slipstream. And now it's Nick DeGroot and David Leclaire side by side. And who's that who just went side by side with them?
That's Covey Moore hopping to the high side. Meanwhile, Chris Massey getting a good run on your leaders here. I'd keep an eye out for Eric Schaus as well, just kind of hanging back, trying to save those tires. 3 wide for the lead.
Front stretch. Covey Moore is going to try and hold it around the outside. Nothing's going to be able to do about it. Will he get the switch back on? Move down, Corey. Move down, Covey. Come on. Okay, he's going to go to the outside of David Leclaire again. He probably could have gone to the middle and split them 3 wide. But nope, he's going to be stuck on the outside once again, moving down, getting quite close to David Leclaire.
Yeah, very close battle for the lead here going on. David Leclaire moving down the track, kind of pinching Nick DeGroot in that bottom lane. Not going to be good for his tires at all. Battle going on for 6th as well between Krista Nelson and Joe McAdory. 3 wide for the lead once again. That outside line just has no momentum.
Yeah, no, they don't even have the run on exit, really. You can see
Up to the outside again. Good move by David Leclaire. He's going to have to force him down the track, though. Headed for turn 3. Just got to keep Nick DeGroot right along that white line. Hopping up high is Kobe Moore.
That was crazy close between Moore and Leclaire. I don't know why Moore keeps going to the outside. He's not going to get the run out there.
Doesn't really have anywhere else to go. That's the thing. I mean, what you'd have to hope for is for Nick DeGroot and David Leclaire to open up enough of a space between them that he could try and shoot the middle. We're approaching very steadily halfway. David Leclaire fighting for the lead with Nick DeGroot. He might just clear him here off turn 4. But he moved too far up the track. Can't do that. Yeah, David Leclaire really high up the track, actually slotting back into third. Might have just missed the corner a little bit. 3 wide behind. Joe McAdory on the inside. Nelson in the middle. Pasalacqua on the high side. Brandon Pasalacqua doing pretty well in the championship, looking for another strong race today. Really ripping that 4th line.
Something happened to David Leclaire. You know, he just got kind of run out, you know?
Yeah, a little bit of an issue for David Leclaire. A lot of these drivers just kind of making small mistakes.
He just turned in too late. And then, yep, Kofi Moore just said, hello, good sir, and said, thank you, sir, and just chillaxed, went underneath, and now it's too wide for the lead between the 2 Factory Bakes Racing Team drivers. Kofi Moore is pulling back behind side by side with David
Leclaire sliding up the track. That's definitely going to cost him quite a bit of momentum. It's Nick DeGroot in control at the moment, but watch for his teammate Kofi Moore headed for 3. Seen these drivers
well around the outside.
Yeah, we've seen these drivers basically battling it out all race. There's really not been a dull moment in this race whatsoever. You can say that about a lot of the races this season. Nick DeGroot trying to make that inside line work with Kofi Moore on that outside. David Leclaire, we're kind of back into a situation where we were before with David Leclaire continuously trying to make that high line work. In the end, though, I think what it's going to take out of one of these drivers to beat them is just that inside line driver to leave just too much space down to that white line and for someone to try and take advantage of it. Still, that outside line working strong.
Yeah, with the help, though, you could probably make it work on the second lane, and Leclerc's just said, hello, you open me a gap, I'm going to step right through it.
He's going to try and work that middle now. He's going to split the 89 and the 15, trying to work his way through the middle, getting down on that side pod of Nick DeGroot, trying to get the run off the corner. Oh,
contact with the wall.
Kofi Moore might have tagged it just a little bit. David Leclaire edging ahead, going to 3.
Yep. What this guy's got to be careful of, though, is that they cannot start squabbling Kofi Moore and Massey that, because if not, you know, these 2 at the front will go off like a stabbed rabbit.
Enough with that, please. Side by side for the lead once again. Sure it is. Side by side for the lead once again. David Leclaire just losing a little bit too much ground on corner entry, but you're going to see a huge time gain down the back straightaway on the outside of the 89, working that second groove headed for turn 3. Very good run indeed for David Leclaire, just not able to get close enough alongside. Maybe going to have better luck this time through 3 and 4.
Yep, they most certainly will, but, you know, Kobe Moore, he doesn't have the momentum. You know, Chris Massey's chilling with him, Eric Schaus as well. Big gap, to Joe McAtree in 6th. I'm sorry, wow, big hiccup then.
No, not this again! Uh-oh, almost a little bit of contact there between Leclaire and DeGroot, and that is going to let Kobe Moore steam up the outside line, trying to take him 3 wide for the lead. But he's not going to be able to make it work.
Eric Schaus is trying to go beneath Chris Massey. Nothing you can really do. There's just so much dirty air from these Indy cars.
Yeah, but now that outside line going to form a big run. Now Kobe Moore making that high line work once again. He's able to make it work down the straightaways. Just once they get to the turns, he has nothing.
He has absolutely nothing, and not a... What's another word for nothing?
Zip zero zilch?
Zip
that's
zero
something
zilch.
people say sometimes.
I don't know. Nil?
Sure.
Egg? No, love. Love. That
oh,
also means zero.
Leclaire slid up the track just a little bit. Kobe Moore hopped to the outside, trying to take advantage. They've been 3 wide down the front straightaway for about the last 10 laps. These drivers have been 14 laps on their tires now, so it wouldn't surprise me if that inside car starts to slip up just a little bit, but it is Nick DeGroot, so it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't.
What?
Well, Nick DeGroot never slids up. never makes
Oh,
sense.
okay. Never slids up.
He never slid.
David Leclerc's cleared him.
We've actually got a lead change here. David Leclaire
Holy
has cleared Nick DeGroot for the race lead, but Kobe Moore is fighting back on the high side.
The Canadian has done it.
We're gonna have to put that.
What'd you say?
Can we put that on a T-shirt? Just the Canadian has done it. No? Okay.
Well, I mean, that's what we said about Lance Stroll when he got pole, and then he.
The Canadian has P9.
The Canadian's gotten pole, but Eric Schaus is in the inside.
Oh my goodness, Eric Schaus.
What
Big
a
run down the
move.
inside. He's going to clear both of them. Race lead, Eric Schaus. Great move down the inside.
Fantastic move from Eric Schaus.
Yeah, that was absolutely beautiful. Taking advantage of the caution.
Eric Schaus leads at the caution.
Eric Peterson. Peterson hung upside down. Oh no. That is not how you want to have your car facing.
Oh, wow. Big amounts of contact. The 7 car of Gary Corley tagged the 20 car of Corey Lane, and then he got turned straight into Peterson, and then Peterson said hello and became negative downforce, and Josh Gardner also involved for the second time in this race in an incident, and just everyone else is kind of just thinking they're lucky stars that, I don't think anybody else got involved in that incident. I'm just having a look now, but I think it might have just been the 3 drivers.
As Nico Hulkenberg would say, Eric Peterson was hanging there like a cow. We'll take a look at a replay here one more time. Eric Peterson trying to go down the inside of Josh Garner, headed for turn 3. Oh, yeah, he's just going to slide up into the 20. That's not where the contact happened, though. Oh, the 20 got turned. That's it, yeah. Oh, what? The only words I can muster are just and what? Because Eric Peterson essentially just got lifted off the ground and got flung into the outside wall. Garner collected as well. It was Corey Lane who kicked it all off. We didn't kick it off, but he was the driver that got turned in.
He was the victim of the kicking off.
He was a baseball, essentially. If oh wait, where was I going with this? Right, if Josh Garner was the baseball bat, Corey was the baseball, gets spun around and just boing.
Is that something you guys say in the Americas?
No, that's something that I just thought, might be clever to say. Eric Peterson, no words to describe it. We'll go on board with him here. Can you imagine, you're just driving around, you hit someone head on, you think you're just going to crash, and no, you just get sent. He
got the full send.
Oh, and that was a lot of netcode, too. Take a look, he's just going to climb the 20, launched into the air, Mark Webber style, and straight. Doesn't even bounce off the ground. He just sails straight into the catch fence. Oh, my... The spectators.
I think he's knackered about 7 spectators then.
I just realized that. Oh, and he's just pointed at the sky. Whoa, this is tragic. Oh, no.
I feel like at this point we need to have some... hold on, I gotta remember the artist name. Please hold.
Yeah, you're just gonna see that right front wheel sticks through the catch fence and is either gonna knock out or murder approximately 7 people innocently watching in the stands. They did not know what was coming.
Okay, I don't think we should talk about deaths at racetracks. I think that's a bit of a sensitive topic these days.
I mean, I don't know how to... We'll just say they got, boinked over, like, bowling pins.
I have to say, I think Eric Peterson probably pulled the Simon and Garfunkel and said, "Hello, darkness, my old friend."
Yeah, I'm confused how that catch fence did not catch the car. It's clearly not a very effective catch fence because it essentially just, let the car phase through it. It's just like a Tony Hawk. It's just like skateboarding along the wall and then just bonk. The only thing I can say to that is physics. One other thing that we got to take note of is take a look at this contact between Josh Garner, sorry, that wasn't it. It was Corey Lane. No, wait.
That was Corey Lane and Peterson.
Gary Corley. Take a look at this. You're going to see Corley doesn't even touch the 20, and he just gets sent around. Another incident of extremely reliable iRacing netcode, and the screen just goes black, so more cameras have been destroyed. It's not looking good for TMG.
Jenny, I think that with probably all the money we make and everything of our broadcasting is probably just going to be spent on just replacing destroyed cameras.
I have a feeling that I'm going to have to break into the savings account just a little bit to help replace some of these cameras, because they have essentially all just been absolutely destroyed, cracked, murdered. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going to go back green, this time by Eric Schaus. Going to line up as your race leader. He did come into the pits that time by, I believe actually everyone
did except for the lap cars who just wanted to get their laps back. And the pace car has gotten bored of the racetrack, so decided to go down into pit lane. And we are green in Michigan. And Eric Schaus has... There you go, he's moving now.
He's off.
And has he left like a cuddled horse? No, he hasn't. I decided to leave the stabbed rabbit alone and go back to a cuddled horse.
Well, I think the problem that we ran into there is that Eric Schaus waited so long to go that he's gotten the entire field bunched up behind him, and he's going to have David Leclaire moving to the outside of him down the back. Not a very good restart by Eric Schaus. He's going to have everyone breathing up his rear wing, breathing down his neck, going for turn number 3.
I believe the correct sentence is down his gearbox.
I guess so. Now, the cars are just so close, they're literally in his neck. It's become a problem.
They've become, like, you know what all those 12-year-olds do under pace car, where they just go in the pace, like they just go inside the pace car?
Yeah, that's
what's happening, but just at 220 mile an hour.
I thought you were talking about how they just swerve around violently and nearly wreck 7 times under caution. Side by side for the lead once again. David Leclaire on the outside of Eric Schaus. Nick DeGroot in third, looking to take advantage. Chris Massey up into 4th. Single file for the top 4, but not for very long. David Leclaire back to the outside.
Yep, he most certainly is. Behind him, though, Nick DeGroot is looking to make that top lane work. Chris Massey, though, just decided to slide right underneath him and said hello as we just take a trip
contact!
To the stands. And, Eric Schaus.
Yeah, David Leclaire got a little bit of a tap from Chris Massey. It turned him down into Eric Schaus, but they all kept it straight without any damage. Very impressive by all these drivers. Your top 4, just 3, are composed of drivers exclusively not named Nick DeGroot. So for the first time, we have a Nick DeGroot free podium. But we'll see how long that lasts. 3 wide for the lead once again.
Yep, Eric Schaus still holding on to that bottom lane like it's his newborn baby.
Chris Massey faking low, goes to the high side, 3 wide for the lead once again. Everyone bunched up, headed for 3. Near a little bit of contact there between Eric Schaus and David Leclaire. Side by side, back to side by side for the lead.
Yeah, most certainly is. So everyone up to Benjamin Combs is back onto the lead lap. So 19th and above are on the lead lap, with Tyler Tomasi currently in 18th.
Caution is out.
Caution is back out. I think something might happen with Todd Schneider, given
it's AJ Musselman. AJ Musselman backwards in 1 and 2.
Todd Schneider. Let's have a look at what happened here. So AJ Musselman got. I don't actually know.
Oh, he got hit by the, I believe...
18. That's the 18.
Yeah, that's one of the new drivers.
Yeah, so, no, the 18 was just chilling, got hit by Todd Schneider, and then the 18 went up into the 54, who came back down into Todd Schneider, and then straight to the scene of the accident, into the outside wall, and I'm telling you, man, that outside wall is becoming everyone's new best friend.
Yeah, that outside wall has gotten quite a bit of abuse today. I think it needs to have a little bit of a break, because it has just been absolutely destroyed this entire race. Yeah, honestly, I think that just that 18 got squeezed in between Schneider and Musselman, and he just didn't really have anywhere to go. Probably a little bit of net code, and it sent both of them.
Schneider went up into him.
That could have been it as well.
That was on Schneider. Yeah, and because we have gone about 4 cautions without an ad break, Jonathan, I think it's time for an ad break.
I think it is as well. We're going to cut away for just a moment. I'm going to get another sip of water. We'll be right back after this.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And we are back live here on TMG for Pit Stops underway here at the Michigan International Speedway. A couple of drivers have elected to stay out, mostly just Kevin McCarthy. Nick DeGroot out of the pits is going to get beat out by a couple of drivers who were ahead of him before the caution. Eric Schaus going to be the first driver to come out on fresh tires. Not really sure why everyone decided to pit, though, because they've only been on these tires for 7 laps, but I guess that can make quite a bit of a difference in the fuel run.
Yeah, so we're here now for the 5th caution of the day. Longest green flag so far has been 16 laps because I can do maths.
Really wish we could get a little bit of a longer green flag run because I'd like to see what would happen if these tires got a little bit more worn and if we actually got some green flag pit stops. I would definitely I don't know where I'm going with this. I would definitely enjoy that. Kevin McCarthy going to line up as your leader after he stayed out under caution, which I'm a little bit surprised about. We know he did that before. It actually worked out for him until he had to pit under green, so we'll see if that happens again. He's going to have to pit about 7 laps sooner than everyone else. The fuel and tire runs here are actually pretty short, so we're probably going to end up getting a lot of short runs here. See if anyone's in the chat, but I don't think they are.
Yeah, nope. Apart from Alyssa Ferguson, who says hi, Covey and Nick. I'm sure they say hi as well.
Lights are out of the pace car, so we're gonna go. I can talk. It's not like it's my job or anything. We're gonna go back green this time by.
It's okay, Jonathan. Find your words.
All right. Okay. We are going to go back green this time. Hello. I messed it up. Get it?
Hold on, Jonathan. Repeat after me, okay?
Okay.
We are going back
front. Oh. All right. Yeah, we are going back green this time by Kevin McCarthy in the 44, going to be your leader again. He's tried this strategy before. We'll see if it works. We'll see if it works out a little bit better this time by Eric Schaus, lining up in second with one lapped car. That'll be Charles Teed. Going to be starting in the second position, but scored in 21st. It's going to be a very interesting restart indeed. Hopefully, we can get a little bit more of a long green flag run going here, because a lot of this race has been short runs broken up by cautions.
Yep. And now Kevin McCarthy is pulling back from the pace car. It's okay, Kevin. Use that right foot, mate.
All right, now, Kevin. We had to go over this before. It's no big deal. Just the pedal on the right. That's
okay.
The one
right now we're going back green. The pace car has gotten bored of the racetrack. It's quite oval shaped, and has now decided to go down pit lane.
Kevin's gone.
Big. I don't want to be the boy who cried wolf.
Nah, iRacing's going to let that go. I've seen far worse than that. He's going to take off towards turn number 1 with Eric Schaus in tow. I actually one time saw a guy, I think it was like a truck race at Richmond, who literally went when the pace car was still on the track to the point where he drove through the pace car and didn't get a penalty for it. So I think that's going to be okay.
Okay, I'm now going to go into the starts and restart section of the rulebook.
Oh, and, you mean like that? Okay, actually, that might be a different thing.
Yeah.
Because I know iRacing won't penalize it, but I don't know if that's going to be entirely okay with the Dark Horse Series admins.
Okay, so the rule is... It says... The leader controls the restart and must maintain pace lap speed.
Oh, here goes Schaus to the inside. Eric Schaus making a move on Kevin McCarthy. I'm sorry to cut you off, but we got a battle for the lead between Schaus McCarthy and Kevin Massey McCarthy. Falling back on the high side, David Leclaire into 4th, Nick DeGroot into 5th, Covey Moore into 6th. That right there is your top 6, all a bit under a blanket as Chris Massey hops to the outside trying to make a move for the lead.
Yeah, so it does say that the leader can restart after the pace car turns left to lead the field. So, the question is, did he go before the pace car turned left? And if you ask me, he did.
Yeah, I think he did as well. I think that's going to be pretty safe. Side by side for the lead still between Eric Schaus and Chris Massey. Massey falling back just a little bit. Back down the front straightaway, you're going to see the two factory-backed boys trying to make their way around Kevin McCarthy. But both of them starting to struggle later on in this race. We're up to lap 75 now. These laps going to start clicking away pretty fast. Another thing of note, that high line starting to come into play just a little bit there. 3 wide for the lead down the back. Eric Schaus trying to hold on that inside line. Chris Massey in second, trying to hold that outside nice and strong. David Leclaire drops to the bottom behind the 72 of Schaus. Lap 76 underway. Back towards turn 1 now. David Leclaire on the inside of Chris Massey. Thomas, you are muted if you are attempting to speak. Schaus in control. Right, kind of just in that middle of the racetrack, not really moving around too much as the factory-backed boys have made their way around Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to speak, but my dad was. He decided to come up behind me and start yelling and trying to speak into the mic, but luckily I muted myself first.
Hey, we got him.
Yeah, it's okay, boys. We're safe.
Still right now, that top 6 just kind of in a group of their own. It's headed up by Kevin McCarthy at the moment. Jim Brooks leading that second pack, followed by Max Davies and AJ Hobson. Right now battling it out for 8th. Hobson, he has gotten back onto the lead lap, so very impressive by AJ Hobson. Another good run for Krista Nelson as well. They've worked their way up into the 11th position, 3 wide with Craig Forsyth on the bottom. Forsyth worked his way up into the top 10 once again as well.
And almost 3 wide at the front. David Leclaire was looking to see if he could split the top 2 of Chris Massey and Eric Schaus. Nothing you can do on this occasion. He's dropping all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack, and he's gotten beneath Eric Schaus. So David Leclaire has pulled an Eric Schaus on Eric Schaus.
Eric Schaus has been Eric Schaused, and David Leclaire is back to the race lead. But don't look now. Here comes Chris Massey charging back up to the bumper of David Leclaire. But unfortunately, they're not allowed to race below that white line. Personally, I think they should let him do it. It'd be a lot more funny. But Chris Massey still working that bottom line. Nick DeGroot trying to work that top line as well. Never mind, that's Covey Moore on the outside of Eric Schaus.
Yep, and for some reason my mic wouldn't turn back on. But now, there you go. Eric Schaus has cleared David Leclaire, moved back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Covey Moore's on his outside, and all is right with the world.
Yeah, Schaus has kind of been the dominant driver in the second half of the race. We know.
And Nick DeGroot to the inside of David Leclaire. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, I was just saying that Eric Schaus has been very dominant in this second half of the race and might even be kind of one of your late season favorites to win more races. I think he's out of the championship hunt at this point. But it's definitely not out of the question that he could win a couple of races. Just as I say that, the factory-backed boys are going to split him inside and out, and Nick DeGroot is going to take the race lead.
There you go. Eric Schaus has been Eric Schaused once again. Eric Schaus.
Yeah, that got very close there between Schaus and Nick DeGroot. Schaus looked to the inside, ended up going to the high side on Nick DeGroot. He's trying to Eric Schaus Nick DeGroot, but unfortunately Eric Schaus is out Schausing himself.
And I think my brain just exploded.
That is unfortunate.
And Eric Schaus is about to clear Nick DeGroot. Will he be able to do it? Yeah. Yes.
That was a word, I think.
I said yes, then I said no, and then I said yes, and then I said no, and then I said yes again, and it kind of came out as yeah.
Side by side for the lead again. Covey Moore to the high side, trying to make that high line work.
Yep, Covey Moore ducking behind, and will Eric Schaus backing up.
Schaus saved it, but there was a little bit of contact between the front wing of Covey Moore and the rear axles, or axle, suspension, wheel pods, whatever those things are, of Eric Schaus. That's going to let Chris Massey look down the inside, but a very close moment between your top 2.
Why don't we just call it the rear assembly?
Rear assembly, that's a much better idea.
Oh, and big checkup for Chris Massey.
Yeah, Massey lost a lot of time there on the inside line. Had to check up quite a bit. Now the top 4.
Eric Schaus might be Eric Schaus. Will Eric Schaus be Eric Schaus? No!
Oh, contact! He saved it. Can't say that. But you know what? You didn't. You cut yourself off because of self-control.
You know what I said? I said holy non-TMG Racing Network word.
There we go. Holy, can't finish that sentence. David Leclaire has worked his way up into second, Nick DeGroot into third, Covey Moore back to fourth. I got to admit, Thomas, you might not be entirely wrong in your reaction, because that was a very good save by Covey Moore. Down the back straightaway, working with Nick DeGroot on the high side. He's going to let Eric Schaus break away from the field a little bit at the front.
Yep, you know what, Jonathan? I'll make sure nothing happens here. You go take have a look at a replay of that, because that was mental.
Yeah, I'll definitely go ahead and take a look at a replay. iRacing just froze for a second there. Scrolling back just a bit. Let's see if I can find it. You know what? We'll do it in the most unprofessional way possible. I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward until we get to the point where it happened. This is the best way to do it, I promise. There are other guys that do this. It's not just me, I think. Okay, I think it's right here in 3 and 4. You're going to see Schaus just tries to get a wider exit than Moore.
Sorry, contact at the front. David Leclaire and...
Nick DeGroot?
Yeah, David Leclaire and Eric Schaus just hit each other. It's fine. You keep doing your thing.
Well, I mean, it was pretty straightforward. The 15 just kind of got sent up the track. He was able to save it. Side by side for the lead again, Nick DeGroot on Eric Schaus. Will David Leclaire try and Eric Schaus? Eric Schaus. Eric Schaus has not been Eric Schaus. He will remain unschoused and keep the race lead. Oh, contact again.
Almost. Nope. Nick DeGroot
Oh,
just
contact
lost it.
again. And again. And again and again and again and again and again. But they all
And
keep it
pinball
straight.
machine.
Welcome to Pinball the Race.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, I'm going to let my voice take a little bit of a rest. Thomas, you can take over for just a little bit, because I'm getting to that point where
Nick
my voice
DeGroot's
is going to
gonna
start
have
to
to
do this. So, take it away.
Nick DeGroot's going to have the run of the century and going to try and hold it around the outside. Will he get loose, though, like he did before? Not really. He's just going to try and keep the momentum on exit, but Eric Schaus is going to hold it on the inside, but Chris Massey has now slid up the inside of Nick DeGroot. So this is going to be very interesting. You can see, yep, Eric Schaus is running that second lane, and Chris Massey running that bottom one. You can see David Leclaire just trying to see what's happening, but Covey Moore has fallen right back from this front pack and is almost falling back in the clutch of the second pack, as at the front, Chris Massey is trying to have a look around the outside of Eric Schaus as I hiccup again. Well, and now Nick DeGroot is up the inside of Chris Massey, and Nick DeGroot is doing a Chris Massey who did a Nick DeGroot to himself. And there you go. Nope. Nothing that DeGroot can do on this occasion.
19
But Chris
laps
Massey is going to...
Oh, sorry, carry on.
Chris Massey is absolutely sending her around the outside, having the run of the century on Eric Schaus. Nothing he can do, though. And wow, having to release the steering lock.
Tires might be starting to wear a little bit. We're 19 laps in on the run now. It'll be harder and harder.
This is the longest run we've had so far.
Yes, it is.
And I have just received a text from Tyler Tomasi because I'm that cool. I have his number.
Ooh, wow. That makes
exactly.
you cooler than me.
Yep. He just texted me, starting lost is a joke, comma. Well, actually, there's a comma missing.
Okay.
Yes, I will be correcting his grammar.
That's very good to hear.
Guys in the back have no idea how to do restart. How to do a restart, Tyler. Come on, mate. Basic sentence structure. It's spelt incorrectly. Unbelievable, spelt correctly.
So he couldn't spell "it's" correctly, but he did spell "unbelievable" correctly. I'm only
Yes,
making
and
fun of him because the wreck was his fault. Side by side for the lead again, it's
Whoa.
Massey on the outside of Schaus. No, we're not going to do that again. The 72 trying to hold strong on the inside. Lap 21 of the run now. Nick DeGroot crossing underneath. The 83, DeGroot back in the fight for the lead. He's actually got underneath Schaus.
He just sent me another text after I asked him what happened with Teed, and he said, guy tells me to start lost, then puts me in the wall.
That's
So
not what
I
happened.
think that's pretty clear where Tyler Tomasi stands on this issue. And Chris Massey has Eric Schaus, and Nick DeGroot, who just Eric Schaus to Eric Schaus, and Chris Massey is now in the lead.
Chris Massey
New
to the
leader.
lead. Yeah, I believe this is his first time in the lead all day. The 83 and the 89. 1-0.
And there's the inside wall,
That,
Chris.
that's
Hope you
not-
enjoy your
that's
visit.
not how you-
And will
that's
he
not-
collect anyone? Nope,
That's
he
not how you-
goes to the pit.
Chris, that's not how you lead a race. So if you
Well,
find
apparently
You know, if you thought that you could commentators curse someone, I literally said Chris Massey to the lead, and he immediately spins himself. That is quite possibly the funniest thing that's happened all stream.
Well, apparently, according to all the other drivers, that was very convenient because apparently they're all about to box. So,
Well then, we'll take a look at a replay of what happened, but I'm pretty sure I know exactly what it was. Massey just trying to hold it too low on old tires, and it ended up bouncing him into the inside wall. Very violent hit as well. Man, he had such a good run. We were just talking about how it was first time in the lead, and then he goes and does that. Chris, what are you doing? You'll see it here off turn 4. Car's just going to step out on him. Oh, man, hard hit on the safer barrier. It's actually going to bounce his entire car off the ground into a 360 flat spin through the air. Someone should probably tell Chris that he is not playing Trackmania. He's going to bounce off the grass again and just kind of go sliding back up into the track. Almost hit Craig Forsyth. That was very scary.
yeah, and then he did the right thing, though, in slamming those brakes on and making sure he could get that car under control and then immediately resetting to get out of the racing line, which, as much as it's not realistic, was probably the best thing to do in that situation.
Yes.
And you know who just joined the driver meeting chat? Tyler Tomasi. Let's bring him up.
Oh, no. Oh, man, that was... Oh, my God.
Hey, Tyler, it's Thomas up at the TNG Broadcast booth. You got me?
Yep.
There we go.
Yep. So, in your text message you just sent me, it was pretty clear where you stand on that collision you had with Charles Teed, and might I add, you might want to rethink your sentence structure in your texts.
First of all,
can you just walk us through what
the
happened?
second wreck I just got in was definitely my fault, but not the first one. The second.
Oh,
wreck
you got
was
into a second
definitely my
wreck?
fault. Yeah. Well, I parked it. Well, because somebody was blinking, so I said, "Screw it."
Oh, we didn't know that, but thank you for telling us. I don't think we'd registered that had happened. Yeah, but what happened in the first wreck?
Well, we were racing with the 27. That's his number, right?
Yes.
I believe so.
Racing with the 27. When you start last at a track that you can't pass, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Somehow we caught up to him, and there was a bunch of times I was on his outside, and he just kept running me up. And I get it, you get tight, but it was one of those deals where it was like the 10th time I got to the outside of him, and after a while I just got to give it up, and he just kept coming up, and then just rode us both into the fence.
Yeah, so this is your first start, I do believe, in the Dark Horse Indycar Series.
Didn't he
Will
start
you be coming?
I feel like he started Homestead. Continue on.
Yeah. What are your hopes if you're going to come back for the rest of the season?
I don't know. Only tracks you lift at. You can't start last at a track you don't lift at and pass anyone unless they wreck.
Well,
So
hopefully
we
you won't be starting
we
lost
go
in
to
the
a
next
road
race.
course.
Hopefully.
If we go to a road course or someplace where you actually got to drive the car, then I don't care where I start. But here it's where you start, and then you better hope that you just don't keep trying to run the apron and getting tight like some people are doing somehow.
All right, well, Jonathan, unless you have anything else to add.
I do not.
All right, well, Tyler, thank you very much for joining us. Unfortunate how your race ended tonight, but as we're now coming back one to green, we will say good night to you.
Yeah, definitely some pretty harsh words there from Tomasi. Definitely not entirely happy with the... I'm trying to remember his number.
27.
27 of Charles Teed. But
27?
from my experience, it's definitely not a good idea to have a racing incident with an admin in your first start and then get mad at them. So we'll see how that progresses. We'll let you guys know that in the next race, Nick DeGroot going to be lining up as your race leader in front of David Leclaire and Craig Forsyth, who has worked his way up into the top 5. So a very impressive run by Forsyth. We'll go on board with him for the restart. Thomas, take it away.
Yep, the pace car has gotten sick of this oval now and is pulling down into the pit lane. And Nick DeGroot is going to lead us back to green, and he is 3, 2, 1, and going. And he's not moving. There you go. He's now moving.
Wow.
Not a great start from him because David Leclaire is already all over the back of him. And Eric Schaus in 3rd, Gary Corley and AJ Hobson side by side for 6th place.
Sorry, I was just talking about how abysmal of a restart what that was for Craig Forsyth. He got the green and just didn't go anywhere. Meanwhile, for the lead, David Leclaire and Nick DeGroot side by side, going down towards turn number 3. Big difference here between some of your top three, though. Nick DeGroot and David Leclaire, I believe they both still have their fast repairs left. Craig Forsyth, he is out of a fast repair.
He most certainly is. He's now has an absolute run of the century, though.
Backs off a
David
little bit,
Leclaire. Yeah. He's gone to the inside, though, of David Leclaire. He's going to have the draft from Nick DeGroot as long as he decides to take it. And will Craig Forsyth try and Eric Schaus Nick DeGroot?
Not going to be in range of it just yet. But keep in mind, these two are your championship contenders. We saw them fighting it out last week, or I almost said last weekend. Last week at Kentucky, we could see it here again at Michigan. We're closing in on 20 laps to go, and Craig Forsyth is closing in on your leader, Nick DeGroot.
Yep, Craig Forsyth doing the right thing there and pulling back a little bit. He is going to get slightly tight, though, but now he's going to have the run. Nick DeGroot's going to go to the outside. No, he's defending the inside super well from Craig Forsyth. And now David Leclaire is going to try and have a look. Nick DeGroot, though, closing off that possibility real quick. But Craig Forsyth is probably going to fall behind David Leclaire because David Leclaire is going to have the draft heading down the front curve.
Keep in mind, though, that Craig Forsyth, he is in a little bit of an all-or-nothing situation. You know, his championship chances, at this point, he has to put together some really good runs and hope he gets a little bit lucky. So he has to be aggressive here. I don't think he can afford to just kind of stay back and hope that the top two wreck. I think he's really got to go out there and try and fight for this win. Side by side for the lead again, David Leclaire and Nick DeGroot. Krista Nelson.
Krista Nelson, I was about to say, Krista Nelson coming out of absolutely nowhere and in that podium position right now. First time all season we've seen the number 13 up in that top 5 even.
Yeah, big run by Nelson on these top two. Maybe in a position to try and get the underdog victory. Talking to some of the admins before the race, they were talking about how this race would be a good opportunity for someone who maybe isn't at the front all that often to try and take away a win here.
Hot car. Who's this? This is Jeff Hysong.
Oh, slow car. Slow car going to be in the way. That's a NASCAR reference. Don't worry, you won't get it.
I watched NASCAR. I watched the final. I didn't watch Martinsville.
But that was like a good race. All right, never mind. Down the front straightaway, they're going to have to go high to avoid this slow car who has been in the way. Hysong sliding up just a little bit. Nelson falling back to 5th. Forsyth back to 3rd, trying to get underneath Leclaire down the back. Big scrambling going on in the back.
Yep, but if you have a look at this rear chase cam, that is absolutely mental. Heading down the back straight.
Oh, this is I readjusted the chase cam for the pre-race photos, and now it just looks bad. Back down the front straightaway.
The rear chase cam. Rear chase cam.
That's the rear chase cam. I adjusted it for the photos.
Why would you change the rear chase cam?
I know who uses the rear chase cam. Back through turns 1 and 2, David Leclaire. Well, yes, because you're actually in the sim and not showing to the. Imagine if I broadcasted the whole race like this. All right, back to actual coverage. David Leclaire leading away over Nick DeGroot. Other way around. Nick DeGroot leading away over David Leclaire. Forsyth back in 3rd. Everyone kind of in a big pack here for this race lead. Moving around to the back. Oh, who's that? Gary Corley? No, Covey Moore trying to split the middle 3 wide. He's going to make it work with a little bit of contact. Lap 103 of 120 underway. DeGroot holding that inside over David Leclaire.
Yep, and you can see Craig Forsyth chilling right behind that 89 car of Nick DeGroot. You can see now Nick DeGroot is taking a much wider entry as Eric
Schaus to the inside.
Eric Schaus is Eric Schaus on Craig Forsyth, who previously Eric Schaus in order to get that Eric Schaus position with an Eric Schaus move.
All right, we're going to stop you right there. Once again for the lead, Craig Forsyth is looking in the back. I believe that was one driver forced right against the outside wall. We're going to see that quite a bit later on in the race because that outside line appears to be pretty preferable, at least in 1 and 2 if you can get it to work right. Side-by-side words 3 and 4, Leclaire is fighting hard for the lead on the outside.
Yep, not going to be able to do it on this occasion, though. Nick DeGroot still going to hold on to it. Craig Forsyth, though, will he go to the outside or the inside? He's going to try and split the middle, but no, he's just going to chill with Nick DeGroot now. The one question I do have, as we're coming to, it'll be 15 laps to go at the end of this lap, and Kofi is on the outside now, trying to, in that 3rd place site.
Yeah, Kofi trying to make that outside line work, getting in the slipstream of David Leclaire. He's going to hop to the outside, 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah, one thing I'm kind of curious about, though, is on the last lap, do you think they're allowed to use the apron in the front stretch?
I'm not sure if they're allowed to, but I'm not entirely sure that they're going to care. Three wide behind, Craig Forsyth on the inside of Schaus and Hobson. Hobson flying up high. They are still 3 wide for the lead. Covey able to make that high line work. That high line momentum in Covey's favor. Craig Forsyth in a little bit of a precarious position at the moment. Covey back to the outside on David Leclaire and Nick DeGroot. Down the back straightaway, headed for turn 3. It's going to be very close this time by. That right there is essentially the full field of cars. Everyone who's on pace in that one shot for the lead. Nick DeGroot cutting off David Leclaire. Now Eric Schaus in the picture as well.
Yep, Craig Forsyth up to the outside of Eric Schaus, getting a good run on him and clears him. I think something might have happened to Eric Schaus. Maybe lost a bunch of momentum because now it is a factory-backed 1-2 with that amazing slogan on the front nose of each of their cars.
Oh, wait a minute. Craig Forsyth, he might try and Eric Schaus him here going into turn number 3. No. Also, I haven't seen the slogan on the front of their cars, but I don't have a camera angle set up for that, so we're not going to
don't show it on broadcast.
Oh, okay then. Side by side.
It says cowboy, and then if you combine the last 2 words of the third pronoun in the English language.
Yeah,
he, she, it. Come on, mate.
I'm just gonna look at that after the race. 3 wide for the lead, almost, but not quite. Forsyth trying to split the middle between Covey Moore and Nick DeGroot, but it's not gonna work out in his favor. 2 by 2 for the top 2 rows down the front straightaway with Hobson back in the mix.
Yep, you can see Craig Forsyth, though, is looking to Eric Schaus, Nick DeGroot, who had previously done an Eric Schaus in order to get the lead from Eric Schaus, which he now holds, and Eric Schaus is currently in that 5th place.
Let's talk about lanes. Coming off turn 4 on the last lap, and
has Covey Lane.
Yeah, he's gotten close around the outside. Covey Moore trying to make that high line work on Nick DeGroot. But what I'm just thinking here is take a look at this as they come off turn 4. That high line gets a really big run to the line. So if one of these drivers can put themselves in a good position coming off turn 4 on the last lap, they might be able to get the run to the line. 10 laps to go at the end of this lap.
Yeah, it most certainly is, because now you can see Nick DeGroot is still running 220 miles an hour through the turn, but he has a much shorter distance to go. Whereas, at the halfway point in the corner, which is where I'm looking at, Covey Moore is doing 223 miles an hour, but Nick DeGroot is doing 221.
And keep in mind, that carries out the corner a lot more as well. Yeah,
so that is just to show there is about a 3 mile an hour difference.
And look at this, Schaus is in the picture as well. These teammates have been fighting side by side for the race lead, and they haven't been paying attention to Eric Schaus, who's coming on the outside. Look at this. Yep. It's a huge pack of cars in the back. Hobson trying to make the outside line work. That's going to get very close, but he backs out of it. No caution. Or I should say no crash.
I have a feeling that if Craig Forsyth doesn't think he can win this race, his best bet will probably be to get Covey Moore to win the race.
That probably is going to be a good idea, almost like damage control in a way. Or he might also hope that Nick DeGroot burns up his tires on the inside and spins. Now, I don't think that's going to be likely, but it could happen.
Yep. I think Craig Forsyth and pretty much everyone else is in a position of tactical voting.
Oh, outside line. Eric Schaus coming strong on the outside. Trying to make that high line work. David Leclaire is into 4th.
Yep. And my reference to tactical voting is basically that you would much prefer if yourself won the race, but obviously if you have to choose who's going to win the race, then you're going to choose your least unworst. Sorry, you have to choose your second best.
Sure.
Or the least worst. The least worst. There you go. The least worst.
Lesser of two evils is how a normal person would put it. I'm kidding.
Oh, and Nick DeGroot's been done in.
Oh, DeGroot. He's fallen back to row 2. That's going to be
Corley.
And the thing, he split Schaus.
Oh,
they're all around. DeGroot into the wall hard. Flipping in 3 and 4. They're still crashing. Schaus around. Davies around.
Bloody Nora, what happened then?
Corey Moore has been given the lead in Craig Forsyth. Man, this is Christmas come early for the 131.
And Nick DeGroot caused it.
Yeah, he did.
Nick DeGroot just left reared Eric Schaus, who then just collected David Leclaire at the same time.
You know, I would look at a replay, but we have to figure out what these drivers are going to do in terms of pit strategy first.
And AJ Musselman said it brilliantly in the iRacing chat, all caps championship implications.
You know, he said before the race that there could be a lot of championship implications out of that one. I think we just saw it. At this point, if you're Craig Forsyth, you're going to have to try and make the most out of this opportunity. There is no way at this point that you can't absolutely full send it for the lead, because Nick DeGroot has made an extremely rare mistake and wrecked himself in the process. But he is going to get a fast repair, and it's not going to hurt him too much. Everybody electing to stay out. Forsyth thought about it. Did anyone else think about it? Couple of drivers coming in. Corey Lane on back.
AJ Hobson. AJ Hobson as well, I think.
Nick DeGroot already came in, but that's going to be an EOL penalty for coming in too soon. We'll take a look at a replay for what just took place. We are going to get a restart. It's not quite in the caution did not come late enough. This is going to be very close. This is going to be very, very close. One more look at it. Or sorry, one look at it. We haven't had a single look at it.
Yep, here we go. So, Nick DeGroot just got absolutely mugged, came back behind, tried to get in the draft, and you can see here, he's going to have a look, and he's just going to go try and make it, you know.
He just slid up the track, yeah. He just got tight.
And then hit Eric Schaus, and then at this point, everyone decided that iRacing physics was not their friend, and you can see all those 4 cars up into the outside wall.
What that reminds me of is, alright, for F1 fans, it was that German GP, a very, very, I don't even know how long ago it was, I want to say it was sometime around 2005, where everyone just like slid head on into the turn 1 wall. And for NASCAR fans, it was...
that was the one with Winkelhock and Spiker, so 2007.
I was off only by 2 years. But for NASCAR fans, this reminds me of the rain race at the Charlotte Road Course, where everyone's just plowing into the wall. Somehow, that's actually the first caution today where I don't think anyone fully flipped over. Nope. Never mind. One driver did flip over, and then at the end, you're just going to see those other 2 drivers get collected.
Yep.
Yeah,
it was 2007.
Yeah,
I was right. 2007.
When are you ever wrong? We'll go on board here with Max Davies. You're going to see the wreck happening in front of him. You got to imagine he's thinking he can make it through, and unfortunately, DeGroot, despite holding the brakes, is going to come down into him, and he is going to end up tagging the 18 of Jeff Hysong, and they are both going to go around, headed for the outside wall. Both of them almost flip, but keep the car on the ground. Back live, Covey Moore has inherited the lead. Nick DeGroot is back in 10th.
Yep, the lights on the pace car are out, so we're going to restart this race with
4 to go,
4 laps to go. So, will it be Covey Moore, Garrett Corley, Craig Forsyth, AJ Hobson, or someone else?
Here's the thing that I find extremely interesting, and I am sorry to cut you off here, but the first driver on fresh tires is Alexander Van de Sant. The top 7 have gone 22 laps on their tires. That's not a small margin. That is going to be disastrous for these last 4 laps. I am not counting Nick DeGroot out of this win.
I am, because I'm realistic.
The thing is, I just can't, because he only has 2 laps on his tires. They're going to have 4 laps left. It's possible, especially at a track like Michigan where multiple lines are a thing you can use. It's possible.
10 places, though.
It's possible.
In 4
it's
laps. That's... You know what? My money at this point is going to be probably on Covey Moore. Debut win, ideal scenario, and the pace car is sick of the oval, so it's decided to hop down into that pit lane, and Covey Moore is going to bring it back to green, and he's gone immediately.
He's gone nice and early. He's got to get a big gap. You're going to see the field here coming by the front straightaway. 4 laps to go in the Irish Hills of Michigan. It's Covey Moore leading for factory back with his teammate. Relegated back to 10th. A big lead for Covey Moore going through turn 1 and 2.
Yep, Gary Corley is closest rival behind, is a couple tenths behind. Craig Forsyth, though, is slid to the inside of Gary Corley and has just dispatched of him immediately.
This is big for Forsyth. He's got to make up as many points as he can and hope that Nick DeGroot doesn't charge his way through the field too easily. He's up to 9th, but he's got a big gap to Van de Sant, and he's on fresh tires as well.
Yep, having a look back at the front now. Covey Moore, where is he?
3 to go at the line. Covey Moore, about 4 tenths up the road.
Yeah, he's got a gap. He just has to stick with it.
Oh, Forsyth's been turned! In the wall! Forsyth in the wall. The caution is out.
Yep. Oh, serious championship implications on that one. On that incident, you know what? He just got absolutely tagged by Gary Corley. and straight around into the outside wall and to the scene of the accident. Super lucky he didn't collect anybody else. Alexander Van der Sant, he must have had a heart-in-mouth moment as he avoids by about 6.28593 centimeters.
But the caution is out. It came late enough. There are no green-white checkers. Covey Moore has won on his Dark Horse IndyCar Series debut the same way his teammate did all the way back at Homestead. Nick DeGroot charges from 10th up to 6th in the last 4 laps, and it is heartbreak for Craig Forsyth, who will only be able to finish in 10th. Covey Moore becomes the 4th unique winner this season in 7 races, and it'll happen under caution the same way that it happened to his teammate all those races ago in Homestead. He was able to do it pretty much in the simplest way possible. Stay out of trouble, be up front when it counted, and come across the line in first, even if it was under caution. Covey Moore wins on his debut.
Well, hold on. He's got to do another lap here, Jonathan.
That's true, but Well, how long is the fuel run? How long is the fuel run again?
About 30 some laps.
All right, they're going to be fine. I mean, unless somehow...
We're trying to build suspense.
Yeah, Covey, the race isn't over yet. Covey, it's not over
no,
yet.
it's 24 laps apparently. Sorry, I'm corrected. 24 laps.
Is that the fuel run or the tire run?
Yep, that's the fuel run. So the question is, how long has he been on these? Not long. He's been on. He didn't.
Well, they
pit
came in
on that
20.
one.
They came in 26 laps ago.
So no, he should be fine because he's going to be saving.
Oh, you would think so. Well, it
So-
needs to be seen. We're on the white flag. We'll see. I think he can make it all the way back around. I think Covey Moore has won this race. I think. Maybe. Perhaps.
Careful! Don't think too much. Your brain might not be able to handle it, Jonathan.
Oh, that's just mean, but also true. But I think he's got it.
He should do.
Yeah.
Okay, he has got the half of 1.5 miles left to go in 3, 2, 1 now. So he's got 0.75 miles to go. Will he be able to make it? Put it this way,
I don't know how to tell you this, but this track is 2 miles long.
He has a mile to go. But I can run a mile in 5 minutes. So
all right, so you would be able to run
Actually,
this
about
track in 10
about-
minutes.
actually about 5:40. I think my fastest time before surgery was about 5. It's about 5:50 maybe. I don't know.
All right, so you'd run this track in about 12 minutes, but I think him
About
making it off turn
12 to
4.
13 minutes.
Hush.
12 to 13
Hush, I'm
minutes.
calling the finish. Him making it off turn 4 is going to solidify the victory. Covey Moore has won on his debut for factory-backed motorsports. It's been a race of drama, intensity, and excitement. But in the end, Covey Moore is going to become the 4th unique winner this season. Checkers flying in Michigan for Covey Moore. Corley comes home in 2nd, and AJ Hobson is going to round out the podium for his first top 3 appearance since he won back at Auto Club. Krista Nelson, a nice, strong run, finishing in 9th, and Craig Forsyth, not happy with his result, relegated to 11th because of that last lap spin.
I think Covey Moore's out of fuel.
Okay, that's funny. Wait, hold on. He's gonna get a push here. This is gonna be cool. Come on, Nick, give him a push. Oh,
no!
Oh wait, no,
He's back.
Cody. He's not Cody. You can do it. Come on.
Come on, Nick.
Hey, we will be able to get a nice screenshot of this, but come on, you just got to get to there. Oh, he's going again. They might have just stopped for a picture. They might have just stopped for a picture.
They might have done. Well, let's have a look at Covey Moore as he's doing his celebratory run after winning at his debut here at Michigan International Speedway. Covey Moore in the car number 15 for Factory Backed Motorsports is your winner.
Yeah, I gotta say that was probably one of my favorite races to commentate on. It was very, very long. That's probably evidenced by the fact that in that last call I went, Craig Forsyth's gonna spin! But that just happens when you're talking for like an hour straight. But Covey Moore has won at Michigan on his debut. It was a very entertaining race, but in the end, Nick DeGroot is still going to extend his advantage at the top of the championship. We will look at a replay of what happened there to Forsyth on the penultimate lap, but congratulations to Covey Moore. He is the 4th unique winner this season.
Yeah, he is, and you can see he's burning it down on the front curvy thing.
Straightaway, just call it straightaway, man.
It's not straight!
It's straight enough!
Nice voice crack.
It's straight enough. Still
Hold on,
doing
no.
runs.
All I know, I got the best voice crack machine.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay, so he told me about this before the race. He said if we got bored under caution, we might use it. Covey Moore celebrating his victory with some burnouts on the front straightaway. I mean, well-deserved. He stayed out of trouble and really probably ran the best race out of your top three. So a very deserved victory. He is going to pull it in to the infield victory lane. Like I said, very well-deserved victory. It just sucks that Craig Forsyth had such an unfortunate luck there at the end.
Yep, I think he's trying to find his way into victory lane.
Okay, who's going to tell him he can run through the bushes? Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on, it's not hard. No, what are you doing? what are you, sir? You can drive through the bushes. Oh, he's doing it.
Oh, he's damaged his car.
There we go.
And
Into
there you
victory
go,
lane.
into victory lane. Okay, and
he
now.
can. Oh, wait, hold on. He's got to park it right. Nope, too far back. That's it. Oh,
Is he trying to burn it down? No, he's not going to burn it down in victory lane. All right, well. Now, Jonathan.
Yes.
Because we only did it once in the race, I think it's time for another ad break. Before we interview the drivers after that sensational race, congratulations once again to Covey Moore of his number 15 for his win on debut.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and cut away. We'll be right back with your post-race interviews.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And we're back live here on TMG. Thomas is rudely trying to cut me off. He is going to be doing
You told
the
me to
interviews.
do it.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay. He is going to be handling all that stuff while I take a look at a replay of what happened to Craig Forsyth. Thomas, we're going to be starting off with Covey Moore, who has won on his debut, while I shut up and look at a replay.
All right. Hey, Kofi, it's Thomas up at the TMG broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, what's up is the ceiling, but really good race for you. Winning on your debut, had the really hard, long-fought battle for the whole race with your teammate in that factory back to motorsport number 89 car. Just walk us through it.
Yeah, it was kind of a team play on the race as a whole. Nick definitely has a lot of experience in these Indy cars, myself as well, especially around a place like this. And it's just one of those deals where if you can kind of control the air after 15 or 20 laps and keep people pinned on the bottom, you're typically going to have the car for the longer run. And you got to be around at the end of these things to win them. So it's just kind of aiming at that long run and keeping a car that wants to stay underneath you.
Yeah, super unfortunate for Craig Forsyth getting taken out by Gary Corley right on the penultimate lap, giving you the win under caution. Do you think that without that incident, Craig Forsyth would have been a fight on your hands?
They were coming. Gary and Craig, they were doing a little bit of fighting, which I think they probably could have been up to my bumper, my rear wing there on that last run before the caution, if they had gotten sorted out a little bit and just realized that making the momentum is more important than battling for second. So yeah, I think they were going to get there. Whether they could get it done is all a question of what happens with that third place car. So it's just it's all a matter of air, and we were on some old tires on that last run, so it was just kind of important to have the clean air on the nose as much as you could there at the end.
Yeah, talking about older tires and struggling on them a bit, as we almost saw that towards the end of the run, the outside lane seemed to get better, but we only saw it pretty much right in that last run when we got to about the longest stint we had, because only before that we had about our longest stint was 16 laps, I think I calculated it at. But at the end there we were going for well over 20. So, just walk us through the track evolution.
Yeah, it's one of those places where with the DW12, and kind of the older version of Michigan here, it's a little bumpier, so it's going to wear, but you can really go where you want for 5-10 laps. Do what you want, like you guys mentioned there. The line moves up over the course of the run as the tires give up on you. the car really has a 4-tire slide here, more so than rear end loose or front end loose. I guess tight versus loose. It's just a 4-tire slide, and if you can manage that and hold that high line, which I was trying to do most of that race, just keep the high line, so I had that car underneath me at the end. I think that's your ticket is playing against the track like that.
Yeah, well, congratulations, winning on your debut. Not something you can do every day. Corey Moore, car number 15. Thank you very much.
Kobe Moore. But you're close.
I said Kobe.
I said Corey.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks
Kobe,
for putting on a cool league like this. It's good to find a place where people are here to have fun, but are also here to be competitive and clean. So big thanks to Nick, Factory Backed Racing. Make sure to follow on Instagram at Factory Backed.
We follow them. Don't worry. I made sure we follow them.
Excellent, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kobe, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Take care.
I don't want to be the one to tell him
up.
that we don't run the league. I don't want to tell him that.
Next up is Gary Corley in that number 7 car.
Since you did the last one, I'll do this one. Hey, Gary, it's Jonathan up in the TMG broadcast booth. You got me?
Hey, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing pretty well. We just enjoyed some pretty good racing out there, and Gary, you specifically had a very up-and-down race. You were involved in a couple of wrecks, or at least got close to a couple of wrecks, but in the end, were able to capitalize and finish second. What do you think kind of did it there at the end that got you up into that podium place?
Well, before the last yellow, not the one that we ended under, but the one before that, we just had a pack of guys that were just going at it, and I was surprised how many good laps we put down with nobody having contact. It was a lot of fun. I picked up a few spots, and then what really helped me was I think it was De Groot bumped into somebody and took out the head pack behind me, so that allowed me to start back in second, and just luck of the draw. AJ was tough all night. Hobson, he was all over me on that last lap. And I really want to apologize to Craig. I was trying to keep AJ from getting around me. And I looked at it a couple times. I don't know if it was net code or if I just tapped his rear end, but certainly didn't want to get second that way. I feel really bad for Craig, but it's a lot of close racing, a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, as someone who has looked at the replay, I can pretty much guarantee you that if netcode weren't there, you probably would have made it around him cleanly. Gary, we saw you at the end there. You came out just short of the lead by about, I want to say it was about 5/10, probably between you and Corey at the end there. Do you think there's something that if that race had gone green, you could have done to maybe run him down?
To be honest, I think I would have been hard-pressed just to get back around Craig. He was really fast, and then AJ was breathing down my neck. So to be honest, at that point, before that last incident, I was just hoping to retain second. I think Covey was gone. He was 2 tenths away from getting out of the draft on me. So I was just looking at trying to battle with Craig and AJ and see what I could do.
Well, for the most part, that's actually all I have to ask you. So Thomas, unless you got anything else, we're going to go ahead and send you back.
Nope, that's probably it. Thank you very much, Corley.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Okay, third place. We're going to bring up AJ Hobson now. If Jonathan, you want to send Gary back, I will handle
I don't know what
AJ.
channel he came from.
Just send me anywhere.
All right, anywhere. General 2.
Going to Neverland.
Actually, I sent him to General number 2.
Okay, AJ, it's time to step into your broadcast booth. You got me?
I got you.
Third place in this race, super up and down race for pretty much everyone tonight. Just walk us through what happens. At the end, no one thought we were going to get a podium, but you managed to pull it out of the bag.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised too. Is at the beginning of the race, the first crash, a car came up the track and I got caught in it and ended up flipping, so I had to tow to the pits. And I went 2 laps down and somehow I ended up back on the lead lap, and we caught that yellow towards the end, so it kind of bunched everyone up and just kind of was at the right place at the right time, I guess.
Yeah, AJ, we saw earlier on in the race that you were actually relegated down a lap down. You were kind of racing with the leaders there. In the end, you were able to get yourself back onto the lead lap and into the podium. But what were you thinking in that moment when you were a lap down?
I was just trying to find a way to get back on the lead lap because I knew we had lucky dogs, so I just wanted to be in that position to get back to the lead lap.
Yeah, I mean, as for most of the race, you were running behind people. How was dealing with that dirty air in the race? Was it really difficult? Were you getting really tight? Did it get worse as the tires progressed, or what was really the deal behind it?
I found it getting pretty loose off of turn 4 on the bottom line, so I tried to stay up kind of towards the top to save the tires for, maybe the end of the run to try to pick off some passes on people that were running low.
Well, thank you very much, AJ. Unless Jonathan has anything else to add, I think that'll pretty much be it for us. So we're going to go ahead and send you back. Congratulations on your 3rd place.
All right, thank you.
And you know what? I'm going to... General 4, that's where you're going.
We're sending people to random general chats now. Alright, that is going to do it for your top 3 interviews. However, there is one more driver that I do want to bring up into the chat, given that they are in a Discord. They are not. Well, I was thinking about bringing Craig Forsyth up, but we can't. So, that's actually going to do it for race coverage of the Michigan race number 7. Next weekend, the Dark Horse Indycar Series drivers head to, give me a minute here.
Hold on, I'll tell you. They're going to...
I think
it's the Twin Ring. No, it's Texas. They're going to Texas.
Oh, that's a little bit underwhelming because Twin Ring was going to be fun. But they're going to Twin Ring next week. So next week on Wednesday night, they'll be heading over to the Texas Motor Speedway. I believe that is the new Texas, so that should be pretty interesting watching them lift through turns 1 and 2. But we will be going to Texas next week. That'll actually be the day before Thanksgiving. So, yeah, luckily I'm going to be able to make that. Thanks, pandemics. Anyways... That's going to do it for race coverage here on TMG. Thomas, you got anything else to say before we sign out?
I do. In fact, everyone, remember, this race would not be possible without the support of thebuttkicker.com. They make these speakers which you put underneath your seat and replicate the forces that you would feel if you were actually in the real car. I have 2 of them myself. They're super awesome. If you go to thebuttkicker.com and you use code DARKHORSE20, you should get 20% off your order at thebuttkicker.com. And that will do it for us here at TMG. So from Thomas Fisher and Jonathan Oates.
Actually, I won't do it because I should also mention that the promo code is only valid until sometime in June next year. So why wait when you could get your set of Butt Kicker Force feedback speaker things at thebuttkicker.com. Use code DARKHORSE. Okay, I'm done. But really, you can use code DARKHORSE20 to get 20% off your order, and you should. We'll see you all next week in Texas.
We will.
Goodbye, everybody.
Have a good one.